I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
No black cats, just straight facts.
Triple P certified.
Listen, we can talk about odds all day. It doesn't matter what the odds are. It matters what's gonna happen.
Welcome once again. It's the Perfect Parlay Pursuit coming at you on the heels of the most boring nonsense. Well, not nonsense would be great. It was, there was a lot of nonsense. UFC Fight Night Vegas, UFC Vegas 116, Aljamain Sterling versus Yusuf Zalal, the worst night of my life. Terrible card. Disappointing, horrible, horrid. We'll briefly recap that, but then we're going to Perth, boys. And if you don't know, you're going to know in about a second. UFC Perth, 4 a.m. East Coast United States start time. UFC Perth, 4 a.m. prelims, Saturday morning. Now, I was sitting there on my afternoon walk, and I was thinking, my brother, my dear, sweet youngest brother, not Alex, our youngest brother, is getting married on Saturday. I'm going to go, what's the card this weekend? I'm going to have to miss it. I'm going to have to miss it for the wedding. No worries. Small price to pay. You're going to have a fun night, but I will have to miss whatever card this is. What is it? And I go, it's Della Maddalena versus Prates. I wanted to see that fight. And then I see the start time for that fight. It says 9 a.m. I scroll up on FanDuel. I go, 4 a.m., 9 a.m. Oh, we're down under, baby. And thank God we are. Because, I have a 1-year-old son. He's in the fucking 4:30 a.m. club anyway. So my wife usually gets up with him. I'll say, honey, sleep in. Daddy's got you. Me and my boy are going to be passing the breast milk back and forth, just having a good old morning together, watching these fights. I'm going to get my fights in, get my bets won, leave my brother a big fucking hand, give him a big firm handshake with a bunch of money on his wedding day. Going to win it for the boy. You guys know I win around events. You guys know if it's a wedding, if it's a baptism, if it's a birthday party, I harness the energy. I summon the mana. And I come through, and I'm coming off of 2 back-to-back baths, 2 back-to-back losing weekends. We'll talk about it. The picks last week were better than the week before. The week before, I went 3 out of 11. Amber was the color of my energy. This week, UFC Vegas 116, I gave you Alan Carr, plus 200 dog. I gave you Valenzuela, even money. I gave you Marshall, okay? My cousin hits me up. He goes, Luke, I need a bet. I got a $10 free UFC bet. I say, even though I picked Philo on this card, I told you guys if I was going to make a bet, I'd bet Durden. I said, bet Durden. Won him $54. I gave you Montag. I gave you McConico. I gave you Span. And that's where... And I gave you Edwards. So as far as dogs go, Edwards, dog. Span, dog. McConico, dog. Alencar, dog. I gave you 4 fucking dogs on the night. But the way my parlays shaped out, they all included as anchors. They included Marinetti as an anchor. Now, if I had known what I know now about Davey Grant, about him moving his family to Vegas, about him being a true fighting family, about his son doing MMA and Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu, his daughter at 8 years old or something winning a Jiu-Jitsu, if I knew that Davey Grant was as locked in and dedicated as I now know he is, I wouldn't have given Martinetti a fucking a look at all. But I thought, 40 years old, weight class well below 170. We're fading Davey Grant. I wish I didn't, because Martinetti ruined a lot of parlays. Hernandez ruined a lot of parlays. And I knew this was dead as soon as I saw the walking in. As soon as I saw these guys walk into the arena, I said, oh, fucking Aljamain Sterling's whooping this guy's ass. Because what dawned on me, Alex, is that to beat Sterling, you got to possess aura. O'Malley had aura. O'Malley had swag. O'Malley had confidence. Zalal had no drip, no swag, no confidence. And I'm going to say it, as much as I've loved Yusuf Zalal through his first UFC run, through him getting cut, through his return, I've loved Zalal. No more. The love is now lost. He will never be a UFC champion. Yusuf Zalal is JV. He's two-stroke. He's two-stroke fighting some 4-stroke guys. He can beat 2-stroke guys. He's not beating 4-stroke guys. And
he's got to work on his jelking, has to work on his edging, has to work on his gooning.
his stroke game is weak. He's not hearty enough. He's not built enough. And he's not clutch enough. And he's not confident enough. And he's not swaggy enough. And he's not dumb enough, really, is what it comes down to. He's too, he's a religiously devout man. He's too locked into higher powers and what it means to be a good person. That's all bullshit. And he's got to get that cancer, Brendan Royval, out of his life. So does Hernandez. Royval, in a fucking weak division, has ended up getting more shots and opportunities than he's ever deserved. And he's around these guys, and they kind of him getting his little title run that he lost gave guys like Hernandez and Zalal this kind of false sense of we're in the right spot. Montoya, I think at this point I'm gonna say this: Montoya's a fraud. The Zalal situation, pitiful, pathetic. He needed to go out there and once it was two things. I heard that him and Aljamain had trained before and that they were friendly. I was like, Zalal's not going to do well in a situation like this. And then I also was thinking, Aljamain, although Jamaican, he could really be in that Nigerian kind of club with Francis, with Izzy, with Usman. You know why, Alex? Because Aljamain is a petty god. He's a bitter, petty god. And he is always going to shine in situations like this. Always going to shine in situations where you're writing him off, you're downplaying him, you're giving him the short end of the stick. He's going to get that pettiness and he's going to rise up. The O'Malley aura was too much to overcome. But Zalal didn't fight like O'Malley. He didn't strike like O'Malley. He didn't have a finishing mindset like O'Malley. He fought like a bitch and he lost. And the fact that he smiled afterwards, Zalal should fucking fall on his sword after a night like that. That was your chance. That was your shot. You blew it. So Zalal's dead to me. But Edwards, Alencar, McConaughey, Spann did their jobs, guys. And to me, the highlight of the night was jiu-jitsu getting embarrassed. I literally was looking up old jiu-jitsu heads that I used to know to try to find them on Instagram to just be like, yo, what happened to your boy? You used to tell me Buchecha this, Buchecha that, Rodolfo this, Rodolfo that. They both got worked by scrubs. Pussy jiu-jitsu players. PJP. I'm going to do a little haiku if I can. I can't do a haiku, but either way. Shouts out to Coach. Shouts out to Coach Ben Wade. I listen, I'm just going to say this. Jiu-jitsu it's a fool's errand. It's good for one thing: embarrassing your friends and catching somebody outside the gym. You're playing a little basketball, some bigger guys talking shit, you jiu-jitsu them. You're at the bar, some guys talking shit, you jiu-jitsu them, right? But
you do not do jiu-jitsu in either of those scenarios. Never, ever do it in a street altercation with more people around. You don't know if their brother, sister, cousin's going to come over and stomp your head and make it stew, Luke. You don't do jiu-jitsu on the street, ever.
I'm not saying on the street. I'm saying in a situation where it's a fair one. If it's a fair one, and you got some loudmouth, maybe you jiu-jitsu them. But I'm just saying, in the UFC octagon, jiu-jitsu is about as useful. It's about as useful as having your wife in your corner. You know what I mean? Shout out to Sam Alvey. Shout out to Mike Perry. Shout out to, it's about as useful as having a girlfriend in your corner. It's pathetic. I loved nothing more than seeing Buchecha get his fucking teeth knocked in. Rickson Gracie could never be him. Could never be Rickson Gracie. So
it's because, and here's the thing, guys. Here's why jiu-jitsu has been pussified and calcified to the utmost degree. It's that people sit here and focus on the sport of jiu-jitsu where you don't have to worry about any of the other fucking variables that happen on the street, and they sit there and butt scoot. They sit there, go for leg locks. They sit there, go for all these different maneuvers that you could never get if the other guy could punch you in the fucking face. And that's the fact of the matter here. And, I fell victim to it. When I would do jujitsu, I did a lot of leg locks. I did a lot of weird shit. I wouldn't butt scoot because, I hustled in my life. So I would take people down. Like, that's easy enough, right? Get a dominant position to start the match, huh? How about you think about it like that? But, all these guys, they sit there with their butt scooting. They sit there with their leg locks. They sit there and they think they're the toughest guy on the planet because they scooted their butt against the mat the most. They're used the rule set to their advantage the most, a la ADCC, where takedowns don't count for a certain period of time, and then it does. And, you got these guys playing these games. It's not a game. Like, fighting is not a game. Okay, jiu-jitsu is a game. People play it sport-wise, whatever. Sure, there could be some massive repercussions. There's some massive repercussions for playing soccer. There's some massive repercussions for playing football. Those are both games, guys. So, you could sit here and say all this stuff, jiu-jitsu this, jiu-jitsu that. If you know a base level of jiu-jitsu and know how to punch and know how to wrestle, jiu-jitsu means absolutely nothing. You can have the highest level. It's like when Mark Kerr back in the day walked into jiu-jitsu gyms with a black belt on and said, "Take it off of me." You know what I mean? Or was that might have been somebody else and not Mark Kerr. But that's the idea. Dave Schultz, even better, even a better example, because he's a world-class wrestler, Olympian wrestler, Olympic champion wrestler, would go in and say, "Take it off of me," and they couldn't. Hey, newsflash, they couldn't. So you got to look at it like that. Yes, you need to have some baseline knowledge. John Jones is a fucking blue belt. What's that tell you about the state of jiu-jitsu?
Most submissions in light heavyweight history.
The only time jiu-jitsu mattered was when, Hoist Gracie knew how to do it and no one else did. And they're like, yeah, he can't choke me out from here. Yeah, he can't beat me up from here. That was the only time that it really, really, really mattered. You look at a guy like Charles Oliveira. Sure, he gets a ton of submissions, but you know what else he can do? He can wrestle his fucking ass off. Okay, he's taking people down with body locks like nobody's business. So, you got to reevaluate the whole thing. If you don't have all the elements to the game, you're nowhere. Charles Oliveira, what else does he do? Walk forward with imposing will and throw fucking hard elbows at people. Rodolfo Vieira ain't doing that shit. His traps are too big from all the acai. He can't even throw a punch. He can't throw a straight. He can't throw a right. This guy, also Buchecha, like, what did you guys expect? He's 5-2 going into the UFC. He's getting his ass kicked against people way worse than Ryan Spann. Ryan Spann's going to go out there. He knows a lick about wrestling. He can make sure that it doesn't go to the ground. And when it did go to the ground, guess what? Ryan Spann's hitting reversals. Ryan Spann's getting up at will. Ryan Spann left exactly. Almost caught him in a guillotine. Ryan Spann looked phenomenal out there. And Ryan Spann isn't even a top 10 fighter in this division, as far as I'm concerned. Well, maybe that's been reordered now that Alex Pierre has moved up. Maybe now he's 10. But, like, these guys, Ryan Spann, Devin Clark would beat the shit out of Buchecha over there. So don't tell me IBJJF this, ADCC that. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it at all. It's all bullshit. I trained jiu-jitsu for a long time. It hurts nobody more than me to know, I wasted my time. I wasted so much time going to jiu-jitsu practice. Waste of time. Don't do it. Throw your belt away. Go into the dojo, spit on your fucking master's face, and call it a day.
You need a blue belt, maybe a purple belt, depending on how easy your gym gives out blue belts and how hard it is to get a purple belt. Like, right, you need about a purple belt of jiu-jitsu to really be able to fight. Because I'll tell you what, I trained at Marcelo Garcia Academy. You know how many times I had guys on my back at Marcelo Garcia Academy that were fucking way better than me at jiu-jitsu? And you know how many times that bell rang and they didn't get me rear naked choke me? Plenty. So what does that tell you? These guys go to the UFC and they get rear naked choked. It's like, you can't survive 5 minutes with gloves and the ability to punch. And the problem, and here's where jiu-jitsu does work. When you do what guys like Makhachev do, or when you do what, where you make them, who else did it?
You break their will.
No, well, two ways, right? You either break their will, make it a demoralizing effort to even be in there with them, break them mentally, right? Then they, or you make them think they can get up. Like so many times. All right. So the story of last Saturday night for me was poor ring IQ. You had so many situations where you had guys like Montel Jackson with Honey Baloney, where, or who else? Let me see. Specifically that fight, but also a little bit with the Philo Durden, or a little bit with the Brennan Marshall fight. What you do is you have situations where the person who should be, and now Marshall proves people wrong. Like people were saying, like, oh, why is he going to the ground? Guy, he did just fine on the ground. That was not a big deal. But in theory, why reckon with this guy on the ground at all? Like Marshall's a league above Brennan. That's not really the example I'm going for here. But like Jackson and Baloney, you had a situation where Jackson would get into grappling exchanges and he would defend the takedown. And rather than just separate and get back to striking, he's like, oh, I'll stay on top a little bit. And that's the trick. If you're really good at grappling, what you do is you just go, all right, I'm going to get all right, I shot a bad takedown. They reversed it. Now we're on the ground. Cool. Like I'm going to give him a false sense of security and then I'm going to do my thing. Makhachev would do that where he's like on top of a guy and he kind of gives him a little bit of space. Darce choke. You know what I mean? You have to give them a little bit of a false sense of security to make them open up a little bit. If you're just now the other direction, this is where Buchecha, Vieira should have went, don't have the ability to go here. But if Buchecha and Vieira had a mentality akin to a GSP, a mentality akin to a Khabib, where they're like, I might be in this for 15 minutes, but I don't care if I am. I'm going to get them to the ground and I'm going to smother them. I'm going to cook them. I'm going to wait until either they're in a false sense of security where they think that I'm just laying on top of them. Then I'm going to go for something. But Buchecha at one point, or maybe it was Vieira, they get in a good position and then they try to take the back. You know, it's a minute into the round, or it's a minute into them having ground control time, and now they're trying to, or less than a minute, and they're trying to take the back. And it's like, dude, just chill. Just chill for a bit. Chill on top. Elbow, punch, win the minutes. Stay in side control. Stay in half guard. Stay in full guard. Win the minutes. Get them to a place where they're so behind. You ever play FIFA, where you're down 2 goals, 3 goals, and now all of a sudden your game has to change a bit. Then you end up losing 6 goals to nothing. But it's not because they're 6 goals to nothing better than you at FIFA. It's because once you were down 2-0 or 3-0, you had your time's not on your side, and you have to do some shit to try to make up the difference. So if it's round 2.5, there's 2 minutes left in round 2, and for the first whole round you were on top of them, smothering them, and now you're about to win round 2 being on top of them, smothering them. They're going to start getting a little desperate. You know what I mean? And they're going to, something that Jack Della Maddalena in this fight didn't really do. He was content to defend, to lose a decision. But in some situations, you'll have a situation where a guy will, all right, I got to get a little desperate, and then they get finished because they're trying to do stuff the quick way. They're trying to take high risk, high reward, right? And that's where you can catch them. But so many of these jiu-jitsu guys, I mean, especially in the heavyweight division, they're like, oh, cool, I got him down. Cool, I'm better than him on the ground. Cool, I'm going to advance to his back. And they just turn over into your guard and get up. And it's like, yeah, dude, it's fucking heavyweight. Like, they know enough to at least defend and reverse and get out. You know what I mean? So I think ring IQ, I mean, if I go through the fights, right, I felt that Frankie Marshall, very poor ring IQ. You would think with a 25K bonus for finishes, guys would give a fuck. They don't, apparently, Dana White. They don't care at all. I say take it away, because at the end of the day, it's not working, right? It does nothing. Guys don't give a shit about a finish, it would seem. And I'm not just talking about last night. I'm talking about through this new era of the 25K finish bonus. I haven't seen a lick of, look at fucking, what's her name? Not Vanessa Demopoulos. Juicy J, Jazzy J, Jasmine Jews the Vicious. Did she care about an extra 25K? Guess not. Like, she gets on top. She doesn't try at all for the finish. But Frankie Marshall, bad performance, bro. It's not going to get any easier. And listen, I have literal family members that trained with Frankie Marshall at Kurt Pellegrino's gym. I love Frankie Marshall. But I'm just going to tell you this, Frankie Marshall, bad look. And it's kind of an American top team / extreme couture thing. It's the super gym mentality where you're around all these good guys all the time. You're doing a lot of sparring rounds. You know, if you watch Alexi, there's a guy, Parinal. It seems like Alexi Parinal. He's on YouTube all the time. He does like cutesy stuff. He's a TikTok fighter, you know, and he's good and stuff. But you watch him training and stuff, and just the kind of sparring mentality these guys have, where there's just very little killer instinct. What it takes for a guy to get finishes, be exciting, be a dynasty, be dominant, like Ilya Taporia, it takes a more closed-off camp.
Did you see his most recent sparring video that came out?
Yes, just cooking his opponent, just beating the shit out of him.
His guy asked to go a little easier.
Yeah, and I mean, it's like McGregor in his prime, closed-off camp. You don't get better by training with Kamaru Usman, Michael Chandler, all these guys who are at the elite level.
Takes Paul Malignaggi in just to knock him out 4 times.
Exactly. You gotta, like, truly, a black belt instructor told me this. He said the way you really get better isn't by brown belt versus brown belt, purple belt versus purple belt. It's you're a purple belt and you're going against the 4-stripe, 3-stripe white belt. You're going against the fucking blue belt. Like, and
somebody who knows enough but not on your level.
Knows enough, but you're working them. You're and you know why? Because it's you practice how you play how you practice. You are getting reps in and finishing sequence. What turned GSP into an exciting fighter? Danaher said, I put him in situations where we lowered the time limit and we said, you're going for a finish here in a sprint, as opposed to doing these long rounds. And GSP was one of the first to say, I don't train more than like 25 minutes at a time because I'm not trying in sparring because I'm not going to, a lot of guys will be like, Eddie Alvarez for the McGregor fight. I did 120 rounds of sparring. He's out here doing 12 rounds of boxing to fight Conor McGregor. Eddie, you're not going to have to fight 12 rounds in the UFC. So why are you doing that? You're just getting worked and overtrained and you're reinforcing the wrong thing. You got to be drilling specific situations, get your skills to where they need to be. But then it's about the mental side. Then it's about execution, performance, right? You can have a college degree and never fucking start a business, never have an employee in your life. It's the guys who have experience, who get in there and they're drilling real-time, game-time scenarios. They're starting a laundromat. They're starting a fucking storage unit. They're making the mistakes, but they're training to kill. They're training to execute. They're training to succeed. That's what's going to win you the day, not a power gym with all these different looks and all these different guys giving you different things. No. You got to keep it small camp. Josh Hockett, what do you see him doing? Drilling combinations with his fucking buddy. He's got like a fucking friend in his garage, and he's like, yeah, just hold the pads. Bop, 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 bop. And he's drilling like executable scenarios that are going to be there in the fight. He's obviously doing all the other stuff you need to do too, but the 80-20 rule of it needs to be...
I'd say the importance of a super gym is early in your career, not as you progress through your career. Once you know everything, like, sure, you need those days where you're the nail, not the hammer. You're getting the shit kicked out of you. You need to grow that resilience. But then as you've already have that dog in you, right? Like homeboy, who was I thinking of? Alex Hernandez. Alex Hernandez, he doesn't have a ticker, dude. He doesn't have anything. He doesn't have anything down here. No heart whatsoever. You got to grow that in those super gyms. Then you get to a specialized camp alone with guys that you're paying to knock the fuck out of for the next 6 weeks on end.
Alex Hernandez can only win fights he can win. He can never turn it around, adjust, pivot, figure it out. It's all just,
he's a hammer, not a nail, and that ain't going to work against any Mexicans. I hate to say it. I should have
fucking known that.
They're too fucking tough. They're not going down in the first round. You're not going to steamroll half of a Garcia. You couldn't even steamroll a quarter of a Garcia. You think you're going to steamroll a half a? Once
I saw Cub in his corner, I knew I was cooked. I knew that the Hernandez bet was done. Fuck it, cash it out. I mean, it was a absolute avalanche from minute one of he's not going to knock him out. He's not going to take him down. He's not going to submit him. You know what I mean? I mean, it was brutal. So can you imagine how insufferable Bear DeGidio would be if Jackson Pod, if Buchecha won? I don't watch Bear DeGidio Pod anymore. I stopped after the Bryce Mitchell thing and the Raja Jackson thing. And
Rampage isn't even on that show anymore. So, like, I
Yeah.
don't see any point in watching it. Rampage
No, I
was
will say some of the training content they put together is fun. Like to watch like Demetrius Johnson just get hossed around by Hamza Chimaev is fun, you know. But what I'll say is this is game, guys. This is fucking ball knowledge that we're spitting right now, which is to say that there was a lot of ring IQ mistakes and a lot of exposure on this card. A lot of learning lessons, a lot of things to take away. But from an entertainment perspective, it wasn't good at all. So my night started off bad. The parlays that I had Alan Carr in included I picked Dumas on the show, so he blew it. But I started to realize Dumas was not winning this fight. And you'll see I put together a parlay with McVeigh in it. But I also live bet right before the fight started. I said, McVeigh is he is the moose. He is a moose. He is going to submit this guy in the first round. I go, Jackson McVeigh, first round submission, $100 to win $900. And that cleaned up all my messes. All my messes were cleaned up at that point. I have 900 in my account. I go, sick. I got other bets going through the night, but I'm not going to say I got greedy, but I wait all week to play. Like I'm like a pent up racehorse by Saturday. I'm like, let's fucking play the game. Let's go. Like, so then, I throw 100 on Montel Jackson by knockout. Imagine me watching him almost get the knockout in the first round. Like that would have just been money on top. Now we're even in a better situation. I throw some money on Martinetti by knockout. I then by this point everything's dead, and now I'm like in desperado mode where now I don't have the cleanup 900. I have like 600, and I'm like, all right, let's do a parlay with Hernandez and Martinetti. Let's do a parlay with fucking Hernandez and Zalal. You know what I mean? And it all went to shit. And I got
I was at after Dumas. Dumas sunk a lot of my parlays as well. We had the Bad Boys Club parlay with him, Meconico, and Ryan Spann. For me, I immediately saw the first minute of the Rodolfo Vieira versus Eric Meconico fight. Saw he was still like plus 800 dog. Put a good little 20 piece on that. Won $180 on top. Beautiful. And then I put a solo bet on Ryan Spann either right before the fight or right after I saw it start, $100 to win 180. So I kind of like did a little better than breaking even on the night, but the villains of the card for me were certainly, Dumas isn't a villain, still love him to death. But Dumont, on the other hand, don't even come to me with Dumont again. That was the big Bunda fight of the night for sure, but I don't respect Norma Dumont at all. Love Jocelyn Edwards to death. Loved her before the fight, but I knew Norma Dumont would do something like that.
I picked Jocelyn Edwards, and I'll tell you what. I saw a stat that said Norma Dumont is 7-0 at the Apex as she's walking out, and I go, not no mo. But I also was kind of like, it's a late fight. Don't want any action on this. So I didn't really capitalize on the Jocelyn Edwards pick at all. But what I'll say is this. 7-0 at the Apex really tells you something, Norma. You're not exciting. You're not a fucking title. You're not getting a title shot because they're putting you at the Apex. They don't want you to be champion. You're not marketable. You're nothing. You're boring. You don't care enough. So guys, I gotta peep you in on this. So Dan, Dirty Dan, who quit the podcast, disturbing Dirty Dan. He has a parlay going, right? Dan, he's always big game hunting. He's always trying to have that massive get rich quick scheme,
$1 parlay for
$3 bet to pay $104,000, right? Well, Dan had a parlay going this night, right? He told us it included in it. He said it. Let's see. I think I have it right here. He says,
I think every time you open another tab,
Dan had it. Ready? Listen to this.
By the way, your body freezes on the stream. Your voice still comes through perfectly fine, but every time you pull up another tab, you freeze.
Audio is king, B. Audio is king. But Dan goes. He said, hold on, let me see. He had he had a parlay going, 12-leg parlay. Okay. 12-leg parlay, Dan has. It's going to pay $104,000 if the last two legs hit, okay? He's got 2 legs left. I'll tell you that in a second. But it included Durden at plus 400, McConaughey plus 210, Span by finish, McVeigh by finish, right? Things like that. Boom, 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 boom. He's 10 legs deep in a parlay that is going to pay him $104,000, okay? It should disgust you, by the way, that Dan is still betting on the UFC after he quit the podcast. He doesn't want to come to the lab. He doesn't want to get some fucking game. He doesn't want to learn, grow, bring his notes to the table and evolve. He doesn't want to do that anymore, but he wants to still bet on the side, right? No worries, Dan. So, 10 legs deep. He needs Norma Dumont to win. And then he needs the law by finish. So neither of those two things happened. But I say to him, I go, Dan, you weren't in an unhedgeable situation there.
In fact, you had 2 dogs to end the night. That all you had to do was bet on Edwards and Sterling, who are both dogs.
And I guess his argument would be, well, what if Zalal wins by decision? Okay, we'll get to that in a second. But you're staring at 2 legs left to win $104,000. Now, this is what Luke does, and this is what you should do, because it's the only logical and correct decision to make. Take emotion out of this. This is a math problem at this point. I'm going to say it a third time. At this point, if you stand to win $104,000 with 3 outcomes left, it's a math problem at this point. So, you need Dumont to win. Cool. Then you need Zalal by finish. Okay. I get it. It gets, whatever. You got to hedge on Edwards. You have $104,000 waiting for you if you're wrong, right? So you go, okay. And Dan's putting out, $200 max on all these bets on the, you know what I mean? So it's not like he's already out $1,500 and he doesn't want to keep going deeper into the potential, potential pool of losses. He's probably got $110 spread out across all these crazy parlays, and one of them might pay $104,000 if 2 outcomes happen. Okay. So you're looking at the Norma Dumont Jocelyn. Jocelyn's plus 170. At this point, I say, Dan, why wouldn't you just put, now I would put $4,000 on Edwards to win $8,000, to win almost $8,000 at that point, 6 or 6.7 thousand, right? You put $4,000 on Edwards at plus 170, you're getting 10,800 back. You're winning 6.8. Wow, that's good math on top of that. 6.8K. So that would have happened. And if it didn't, he's still looking at Zalal by finish to win $100,000. Okay? But let's just say, all right, I'm going to win $104,000 if these 2 outcomes happen. I'll put 4 on Edwards. Now he gets $6,800. Great night. Better night than he's ever had in his life. But let's say, okay, now I lost.
And then you use that 6,800. Oh, wait, then the Zalal wouldn't even matter. The Zalal wouldn't even matter at that point.
It wouldn't even matter. But, and then if you really want, throw 800 on Zalal by finish to win another 3,000 on top, right? But it's like your 104 one's dead if Jocelyn wins. So you win $6,800. That's great. Great night. That's what would have happened if you just threw 4,000. But let's say I'm going to throw 1,000 on. So now my total out for the night is 1,100, right? Okay. So let's say he takes my advice. He goes, I'm gonna put $1,000 on Jocelyn Edwards, and it loses. Okay, now you're out 1,100, right? With only 2 outcomes that can prevent you from getting $103,000, meaning you have $103,000 to use. If Zalal wins by finish, you get $103,000. Cool. So what of that would we need to win back our 1,100? Well, Aljamain was an underdog, so you could put 2,000 on him to win at plus 110, right? Plus 110, that pays you 2,200 back. So now you've covered the 1,100 you lost, and you won 1,100. But then, Luke, well, what if Zalal wins a decision? Okay, then you are
Zalal by decision was probably plus 400. It
was about minus 150.
Oh, really?
Right? It was like minus 150. No, Zalal by decision was Well, Zalal by decision was, yes, plus odds, I'm sure. Probably even
at
money.
Least 400. No, because he was even money from the get. He was minus 125, so he would have had to be plus 200, plus 200 and plus 400 for a decision.
I'll look it up right now, for argument's sake. But that's not the direction I would have taken it. So Zalal to win by decision was plus 150. Okay. So let's say you're down, you're down, you bet 1,000 on Edwards and she lost. He probably had $100 out besides that. So you're $1,100 down. Okay. You want to win back the 1,000 you just lost hedging on Edwards. So you go 2,000 on Sterling to win 2,400 or whatever. And then if he loses, you're down 3,200. So then you go, 3,000 on Zalal to break even. So if Zalal wins by decision, you break even. But what I would do isn't that. I would do fight goes to decision minus 150. So my point is, guys, it's a math problem at that point. He could have put himself in a scenario if Dumont won, which he didn't. So it would have been a no. It wouldn't even need to worry about the prop, which is what complicates things. Dumont by decision is, Dumont winning. If she had won and you're down 1,100 now, you can bet on Sterling and fight to go to the distance. Meaning, if Sterling wins, and he did by decision, you win your Sterling bet and you win your fight goes to the distance bet. The only outcome that would have fucked him at that point would have been Zalal distance. But let's be real. In what world is Zalal going to win the distance? If he's striking Aljamain to the point, if Aljamain can't, I said this before the podcast, if Dan was on the podcast, he would have heard this. If Zalal is able to defend the takedowns and do enough striking to win the decision, he's catching him over the 5 and putting him away. So you're going to win your 100,000. But if you get fight goes the distance combined with the Aljamain hedge, you're winning. Now you're up 2,500. And if Zalal wins by decision, maybe you lose $100 if you don't do the math right. But there's a world where you can do the math right. And I'm not talking crazy.
No, you don't, because if you bet, say that the one bet with Norma Dumont lost or won, and then you go there, then you have even more money to play with, because now you're in the money for $100,000. So hypothetically speaking, really 103. Hypothetically speaking, you could put 20 grand on to go to distance and 20 grand on Aljamain Sterling.
I'll stop you there. The sports books aren't going to let Dan do that because he's not Dave Portnoy, so they're going to limit him.
I'm just saying, I'm using.
But I have 8 sportsbook apps on my phone, 8 sportsbook accounts on my phone. So therefore, I could do $2,000 on this one, $2,000 on that one, $2,000. So then Dan goes, I don't just have 10 grand sitting around. Well, first of all, Dan, you're dual income, no kids. I mean, you should have fucking 10 grand. Tell me you're fucking bad with money. You don't without telling me you're bad with money. I mean, get real. I'm single income, 2 kids, and I fucking can scrounge it up.
And if you can't explain that to your significant other, like, hey, I need all of the money that we have right now because I have a chance to win $100,000 and I want to put 10 grand on each possible outcome, so we walk away with at least 20 grand at the end of this.
With at least a fucking vacation. We're going we're going on Carnival cruise to the Bahamas at the least. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it's like, So, and I go, but fuck all that. Guys, I'm going to say this for the fucking last time. You connect your Venmo account to this. There's many ways to deposit money into a sports book, okay? Many ways. For example, I have direct deposit as a method. I also have Venmo as a method. It's not hard to do. So this is free game. If you have Venmo connected to your sportsbook account, and if you have 8 sportsbook accounts like I have, you can overdraft your bank account through Venmo, because the charge, let's say Dan doesn't have the money in his checking account that's connected to Venmo. That doesn't matter, because you can overdraft your account on a Saturday through Venmo. The charge doesn't hit till Monday. And most banks, at least Chase Bank, you have until 11 p.m. the same Monday to put the money back. Okay? So you can overdraft without any penalty. Without any fucking penalty. It's a free loan. You can literally overdraft your checking account through Venmo into your sports book.
Not financial advice.
Possibly illegal. I don't know. It doesn't seem illegal. Probably not illegal. Why would it be illegal? It's, I'm paying the fees. I don't get overdrafting your bank account is not illegal. So I'm just saying, if you, and then cry me, well, my Venmo has a limit of 5,000 a day. Oh, does your wife's Venmo have a limit? Does your mom's Venmo have a limit? Does your brother's Venmo? Does mine? Does Alex's? Call a friend. Phone a friend. Make it happen. Guys, I'm not accepting fucking excuses when it's a math problem, a retail arbitrage problem to make money. You do what mathematically makes sense, guys. If you can't raise capital, you're a jokey, brokey bum. Like, you need to be able to raise capital. If I fucking called my mom, she would fucking send the money. If I called my in-laws, if I called my uncle, if I called anybody, I could get the money. I can raise the capital. If you have a situation where 104 grand is waiting for you, but because you have 104 fucking $1,000 to work with, you can now, dude, you'd be happy with 70. You could take 34 off the top of that 104 and start hedging around. Start, boom, 10 here, boom, 5 there, boom. And then all of a sudden you're making 6 grand. You think somebody's going to be mad at you if you call them and say, yo, I need fucking 4 grand right now. I know you're rich. Let me get some money. And they give you that. And then you give them back 4.5 the next day and you keep 2.2. You're all making money. Don't let the sports books win. Fucking make the money, dude. You don't need to watch The Big Short to know what I'm talking about here, guys. You can overdraft through Venmo. And by the way, you're in a pinch. You owe money to Chase isn't going to break your fucking legs. There's no debtor's prison in America. So you got someone who's going to break your fucking legs? You're Cassie from Euphoria season 3, episode 3, his husband? I don't watch Euphoria. I just saw the clip. But you're Cassie's husband? You're Cassie's husband from Euphoria season 3, episode 3? You need to get some money? You can fucking overdraft into the sport. Listen to me. I could go deposit $2,000 from my $0 balance checking account. I could go $2,000 into FanDuel. I could take the $2,000 in FanDuel, bet it on Ilya Taporia to beat Justin Gaethje at the White House. Once it's in there as a bet, I can cash it out for the same amount in FanDuel. DraftKings won't do this. They'll tax you. But desperate times call for desperate measures. So whatever, still an option. I could cash it out for $2,000, guys. I could bet $2,000 on Ilya. Cash it out in 2 seconds, get the $2,000 back. Now that counts as a settled bet. So now I can withdraw the money same day. But this time I'm not doing it through Venmo. I'm doing it through the direct deposit into my bank. 3 hours max. It's going to be in your account. So now on Saturday night, your account went from 0. It says 2,000. You go to an ATM. You put your card in. You take that 2,000 cash out. Now you have 2,000 cash in your hand. Monday, it's going to say minus 2,000. You got till 11 p.m. to put that money back. But if you aren't a hustler from the fucking East Coast, if you're not from New Jersey, New York, the tri-state area, like, I get it. You're nervous. I'll get that money back. I'll figure it out. You know what I mean? Like, but my point is, Chase can wait.
I'll rob Peter to pay Paul. I'll ask somebody else for $2,000.
That's a phone call. That's a walk into the bank. That's a, hey, hat in hand. I'm so sorry. I missed. I didn't know. They'll waive the fee, dude.
That's a cutting your credit card in half and say it was stolen.
That's a credit score hit. There's a million ways that you can fucking manage that. Like, seriously, like, I'll walk into Chase Bank. I'll be like, yeah, I overdrafted. Silly me. Can you waive that $35 fee? Can you waive that $60 fee? And by the way, you really want to make it work. You connect the credit card to your Venmo. You Venmo your wife with your credit card. You take a cash advance on the credit card. You give her the money. She sends it back to you. You put it in your bank. There's a zillion different ways to handle this. But Dan chose to lose. He didn't choose to refuse to lose. He chose to lose. Go down, lie down like a fucking dog, say, I'll leave it up to chance, praying to God. Oh, God, if you let Norma DeMont... You shouldn't have even had minus 250 Norma DeMont on that parlay. What did it take it from? $99,000 payout to $104,000 payout? What did it really add? It could have been a situation where all you had to do was hedge 2 outcomes. Fight goes the distance, Aljamain Sterling. That's it. Then you're up $10,000. I'm so pissed off. I'm not pissed off that he didn't do it. I'm pissed off that as I explained this to him, as I'm explaining to you guys, he gave me more excuses. I don't have that. Shut up. Where there's a will, there's a fucking way. It's a math problem. Figure it out. Sit down with a pen and paper and go,
Okay, this much minus this much. If I do this, if I do that, ask ChatGPT fucking T.
Ask you.
Ask
you.
me.
You'd give him $2,000 in a heartbeat. You would
Dude,
just
my
throw
buddy
that in and
called
say,
me
yeah, we'll
once.
split the winnings.
Dude, my buddy called me one time and literally said, I'm going to win $5,000 if the Ravens win. What do? I go, well, you could cash out for what they're asking, or you could bet this, and I gave him all the options. He chose to lose. He chose to let the Ravens fucking lose him $5,000. And himself probably like 600 on all that. It's like, you got to at least make sure you're not losing money. If you have the ability to hedge, you have to make sure you're not going to
see, Luke, the difference between me and most guys, once I place a bet, I say, that is my money. The winnings are my money. When I lose, I lost $5,000. I lost $100,000. It feels just as bad to me. It doesn't matter how much money I put in for that bet, especially if I get to the last two legs of the parlay and I'm sitting here like, starting to shake my, rub my hands together. It's insane. I pray that one day my perfect parlay is still riding to that when it's not in Singapore and I sleep through the whole thing and then wake up for the last leg and say, oh shit, I'm about to win, $2,000. This is awesome. I pray that it's on one of these evenings when I can give you a call. I can give 16 people a call, or I can tap my fiance on the shoulder and say, hey, do this now.
Yeah. Talk for a second while I ask ChatGPT to have it do it in 2 seconds. Talk about your card experience. We'll get into next week. So we've talked about.
Yeah, I mean, I went 9. I think I went 9-4. In all, I had Honey Barcelonis, but I did put a bet on Montel Jackson midway through that fight. I thought he had a chance of coming back and kind of taking that fight into his own hands. It was dumb of me. Like I said, I did a little over breaking even. I probably won like $50 at most, just based on those two solo shots that I took on Ryan Spann and Eric McConico. Other than that, I will admit this. I was driving to pick my fiance up at the airport. I'm driving my son to baseball practice. And I find out that Norma Dumont loses. Then I watch Aljamain Sterling in full. I was super disappointed in Norma Dumont. Didn't watch a lick of that fight, but honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way. I know it was the Bunda Classic. It's like Barca versus Real Madrid. So for me, it's like whatever. If I have to miss one fight, it better be that one. Then I tune in for the end for Aljamain Sterling, and it's like I could have fucking missed this one too, dude. I had Aljamain Sterling, but hot damn, that was a boring fight. Didn't want anything to do with it. My Flyers lost as well. I put a little bet on the Flyers as well. I was disappointed in that one. They're up 3-1. Who the fuck cares? They're going to win it. I thought, getting them at those odds at home, down, there's nothing more dangerous than a 2-goal lead in hockey. So I thought, you know what? Now's the time to bet on the Flyers. Now's the time to cash in on the Flyers. And it didn't happen for me. But at the end of the day, I won money on this card. Should have been a lot more. I called Aljo by decision. I called half of Garcia. I missed on Davy Grant. The only 4 fights I got wrong: Dumont, Martinelli, Fiallo, and Dumas. Those were the fights that I got incorrect. So lost 4, won 9. Can't complain about that. Was boring as all get out card. I'm sitting here chopping trees in RuneScape to pass the fucking time watching these fights. Nothing more boring than those two things in combination. I could have been doing 13 other things with my life, but instead I'm chopping trees, watching fights, hoping that one of these fights will give me something exciting, even at my own expense for that matter. So yeah, disappointing card. Hopefully this next one's a little better. I will be honest, this whole card, sight unseen for me. I don't know a single fighter on this card apart from Jack Della Maddalena and Carlos Prates. Those are the only two guys that I know are on this card. And it took Luke sending me Jack Della's ugly face with his nose across his entirety of his cheek, saying, "Oh yeah, mate, I really think I'm going to win this one." No. But you know, I mean, it's amazing that Jack Della even became champ in the first place. Like after seeing what my boy Basil Hafez did to him, like I thought Jack Della Maddalena sucked. I'm not saying that Basil's bad. Like Basil fucking tied me in knots more times than not. So like, but after I saw that Basil coming in on like 5-8 days notice and just putting it to Jack getting a robbery decision, I thought we wouldn't hear from Jack ever again. But lo and behold, he becomes champ, gets absolutely worked by Islam Makhachev, and now he's here against Carlos Prates, who, you know, who's not booked yet? Islam Makhachev. Ian Gary's sitting here making a bunch of smoke. Carlos Prates wins this fight. There's nobody more interesting to Islam Makhachev than Carlos Prates. He sits there. He says, "This guy, he eat cake, he smokes cigarettes. I don't understand. I don't understand. He eat Nutella cake. He smokes cigarettes before fight." Like if Carlos Prates goes in there and puts on a show against Jack Della Maddalena, he's certainly in next for the title shot. And I think Ian Gary is the one sitting in the cuck chair, per usual.
Okay, so ChatGPT just did it all in 2 seconds, right? I told ChatGPT what it was, and it says, if you want to make it so that you will win the most if your original parlay wins, right? So you want to trust in God and be like, my original parlay is going to win. I don't want to eat into my 104K profit too much. Then the answer is you bet 5,000 on Edwards. If that wins, it returns $13,500, meaning you next fight up, Dumont loses, Dan would have won $8,300, right? But let's say that lost. Now you're down. I'm imagining Dan bet $200 on the whole fucking set of parlays he did. So now you're down 5.2K, right? But all you need to do is now bet on fight goes the distance and Aljamain Sterling, okay? So at this point, it's saying we need to cover the 100, the plus 110 dog Aljamain and minus 150 decision, fight goes to decision. You're going to bet 8,000 on Aljamain and 12,000 on the fight goes to decision, okay? So yeah, it's 25K, right? Maybe not the easiest like situation, but this is to maximize your original parlay return, right? So if that parlay hits, but here's the thing: Aljamain wins by decision, he's gonna win 8,800 on Aljamain, and then he's gonna win 8,000 on fight goes to decision. So now he's up 16,000. Assuming Dumont won, he's up 16,000, down 5.2. He wins $11,000. Totally possible. Could do half on his wife's sports book. He could mix it all up. He could go a little bit on my wife's sports book, a little bit on FanDuel, a little bit on DraftKings, a little bit on Fanatics, a little bit on The Score, a little bit on fucking Caesars, a little bit on BetMGM, a little bit on Bet365. Like, even if they're trying to limit him, even if like, oh, we're not going to let you bet 10,000, 2,000 on this sports book, 3,000 on that, do whatever you need to do. But even if he just wanted to not lose the money he had out, he could have bet $75 on Edwards. Okay, so now he wins $2.50 on the night, doesn't lose money. You know, assuming Edwards
Which
wins.
You know, Dan's perfect parlay is always like $1, $5.
I'll call him right fucking now. Be like, how much? Call him right now. Be like, how much did you have out on the night, real quick? And then, so final hedges. So then, let's say the $75 bet on Edwards loses. Now he only needs to bet $132 on on Aljamain and $165 on fight goes to decision, meaning he would end up returning $26. So the point is, he for less than like $300, he could have just not lost any money at least. You know what I mean? And still had that pie in the sky dream of the 104,000. He's not going to answer.
Your call.
Coward. He's probably watching.
He would never, which is crazy. You know, did you pull up Verhoofdy? Give him his flowers first before we have some illegible.
I tried to tell him,
language.
dude, before he broke my fingers. I told him, do not try their hardest. Please give me 2 more weeks. What up, Verhoofty? Good to see you. Good to see you, MMA consultant. Good to see you, Justin. On a good night, me and my wife get large fries. Usually we do the app free medium, but on a good night, hot damn, send Euro to Australia to a training camp to see how soft they are. I had to bet fighters individually Saturday to try to win back a little parlay. Playing was ugly. Yeah. So, but my point is, total, like,
No, let's not gloss over that. You send me Australia, 2-3 year Australia. I come back and all of a sudden I'm prime minister of Australia. That's kind of how that works. I'm now a delegate for the U.S. government. I'm spying on all the Australians, putting koalas in Randy Brown's hands, manipulating the lines how I need them for me. You know what I mean?
Send me to Australia, I come back with a necklace full of teeth and ears. So, all right. Let's get into next week's card.
But I am afraid of spiders, so I don't know how well I do over there.
I was watching a podcast, and the guy said that you can't even own a fucking pellet gun without a license in Australia.
Pathetic.
It's so fucking pathetic. We better never let America get like that, you know? And I also saw a viral YouTube short where the guy was explaining to some Philadelphia youths that technically the statues you can conceal carry and you can open carry in Philly.
No. So
he said you can.
No. So here's how it works.
Statutes.
Here's how it works. In Pennsylvania, you can open carry everywhere. The one place you can't have a gun unless you have a concealed carry license is Philadelphia. So just know this. So you're right, Justin. You're right. That's where Lukey needs to be.
Dude, can you just? I'm going full Craig Jones in Thailand, baby.
So if you see me in these streets anywhere within the Pennsylvania state lines, just know I'm heavy. So don't even approach me without saying, "Hey, I'm a huge fan." Before you even come up to me, "Hey, I'm Justin Villegas off of YouTube. Hey, I'm Verhoofty Floopton. Hey, I'm MMA consultant. Hey, I'm Kerry Jane." You got to say that. Anybody walks up to me, I stand my ground.
Yeah, Alex. ChatGPT says if you have an LTCF license, you can carry a gun open, visible in Philadelphia. But important nuance: recent legal challenges and court rulings around Philadelphia's stricter rules. As of now, the safe, practical assumption is to carry in Philly, have a valid LTCF. But like I said, recent legal challenges and court rules around Philly's laws have actually made it a little bit more nuanced, is what I'm trying to say. So, because I saw this guy who was breaking it down, he goes, people don't know about the 2025 ruling. And he was like, and he was citing very specific stuff that made me take him absolutely seriously. So,
okay, so
I don't waste. Hey, listen, I'm not gonna waste time trying to explain to a cop when you can barely explain fucking window tint laws to a cop that are
oh my god,
you're getting taken.
But that is a genre. That is a genre of YouTube that I love, where they're like,
"Oh yeah,
I know my rights.
I'm a sovereign citizen. I'm actually a sovereign citizen. I don't have to pull over for you." Like shit like that.
I love the ones that don't know what the fuck they're talking about, who are just saying the things that they saw on YouTube and don't have any fucking clue. But yeah, I got strapped up probably like 3 or 4 years ago. So at the end of the day, the rules probably change.
Yeah, I got to get so heavy. I looked it up. I mean, you can actually, in America, anyway, let's not talk about this right now because, Palantir, et cetera. Like, I'm not trying to get anything logged. I'm not trying to make anything. So let's just move on. But I was looking up, like, can I own an Uzi? And it was like, kind of technically, if it was made before a certain year, blah, blah, and there was a lot of things involved.
And
answer,
most states do not allow you to have an automatic weapon, but you can get a semi-automatic Uzi.
No. Well, yes. But apparently there are. I thought it was impossible to own an automatic weapon in America, but apparently not. Apparently not. It's not impossible. So
you need certain licensure in the states that it is
illegal. All the Matrix as a kid, it's been my dream to just have 2 fucking Uzis. I'm not going to do nothing with them. I just want to be able to sit in my room and say, "Don't."
Yes. One of my friends built an Uzi semi-automatic.
One eye. I'm not a good shot. I need to be able to just fucking break all the drywall in my house if somebody breaks in. You know what I mean? I need to just be able to just start fucking shooting. It's dark. Like,
get a shot.
I have to be a good shot to defend myself. you shouldn't have to be a good shot to defend yourself.
You know what's crazy? You know what is crazy? You can't get a shotgun and saw the barrel off. Like, why?
Like why? Like it's so stupid.
That's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard of.
It's so stupid. It's so stupid.
I can't make modifications to my guns.
Make them look cooler. I always see the Simpsons when he goes, "Hey Chief,
make them more cool and less accurate."
Hey Chief, is it cool if I hold my gun this way on account of it looks cooler? Top on the Simpsons.
You can type that in. Just don't say I use Uzi on X where to destroy Uzi. Exactly. I'm asking ChatGPT, how do I get Uzi? And it's like, hold on, we're sending this to Palantir. I'm like, no. I just want to cosplay Matrix in my house.
Cosplay Matrix. So they're like, okay, well, if that's the case, there are multiple airsoft Uzis.
I'm into super realistic cosplay. Okay. Okay. Let's go on to next week's card. We got a lot to break down.
I mean, we keep this up, they're gonna say that we were at the White House all of a sudden. So
I mean,
all right.
Cody Steele versus Don Mar fan. I'm a big Don Mar fan. Psych, I don't know. Are you a big Don Mar fan?
Sounds like a car dealer.
Don Mar fan. Come to Don Mar fan for, or it sounds like a law firm.
The area is Don Mar, and his name is Fan.
Yeah. It's like, have you been injured at a friend's house? Have you slipped and fallen on TV at the Walmart? Call Don Mar and Fan for.
Yeah.
All right. Don Mar fan, plus 155 underdog, 36 years old, 5 years younger than his opponent, Cody Steele, minus 185 on Cody Steele. He lost to Wrong Zoo.
It's a law firm and a porn star against each other. Cody Steele.
And street booted Don Mar fan. I'm sick of Cody Steele's ass. I really had him parlayed to the tits against Wrong Zoo. He blew it absolutely, entirely, and profoundly.
That's who you are when you go to Don Mar fan. The Wrong Zoo.
And it's like Cody Steele, like I was like, what the fuck, dude? I mean, he is at Syndicate, John Wood, he is at Syndicate MMA, where Davey Grant is training now. Davey Grant's son is out there coaching kids classes and stuff. So I mean, look, on the Contender Series, I really liked Cody Steele. I was like, oh, this kid's gonna be something. But after seeing that performance against Wrong Zhu, I'm like, fuck. He was a much bigger favorite, I think, against Wrong Zhu. You're getting him at minus 85 now. Now we're in that really tricky situation where it's like, do I trust that Cody Steele learned from that and grew from that and got a hiding by John Wood wet burp, and has grown from that, right? Like, and now are we catching him at some pretty generous odds, minus 185? And is he going to make this look easy? The Australians don't have really the wrestling. I think Cody Steele should be the much better wrestler. I think he should be able to take him down, smother him. But in today's MMA, it's like I don't have much faith parlaying Cody Steele. Me. And by the way, when he fought Wrong Zhu, it was another like 3 a.m. start time. So what? I'm going to be sitting there at 4 a.m. with fucking coal in my eyes, sitting there like, oh man. Fucking Cody Steele just busted up a shitload of parlays. I don't want that. I don't need that. I got other plans for this card. So I'm kind of like pass entirely. Don Mar fan, he's going to be on the right time.
Can't be right, Justin. It's 3 a.m. in Eastern time zone. 4 a.m. California.
No, it's going to be 4 a.m. Cali time. It's going to be 1 a.m., homie. You're going to be if you want to watch this, you might as well Friday night make a big night of it, dude. You might as well make a big night of it. Go out, come back 4 a.m.
Come out from the bar. You're out of the bar at 1 o'clock. You're already drunk. You don't care how your parlays do.
You're out of the bar at 1 a.m. Take a little, doctor prescribed Adderall, and you're up, and it's 1 a.m. and you're fucking having a good time. You know what I mean? You're in bed by 10 a.m. You're having, or for you it would be 6 a.m. Right? So for California, for you, this is gonna start at 1 a.m. You're back in bed by 6 a.m. I mean, dude, that's not bad, dude. I just go to Vegas. You know what I mean?
That ass big.
take a little drive to fucking Vegas. Easy to stay up. Yeah, so I mean, I'm looking at Don Marfan. It's like, okay, he's not really. It looks like, you know, he's not beating anybody of note. It's his UFC debut. He's got height. He's got reach. You know, I think I'd sooner take a shot on him against Cody Steele. But my pick will be Cody Steele because I'm not going to get caught with my I'm not going to get caught with my dick in the hairdryer going, oh, Cody Steele, he really screwed me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to do that. It's been a year and 2 months. That's enough time for him to adjust, recoup, recalibrate, reload. You lost to Rong Zhu. Good. Go back to John Wood. Recalibrate. Reload. Cody Steele is my pick. I got to take a PP. I'll be right back.
All right. Cody Steele is his pick, and Cody Steele is my pick. I know, you know, he kind of fucked us on the last one, but I don't necessarily think that was a skill issue. I think it was more of a game planning issue. And he kind of got into a war a la Tommy Guns. Sure, Tommy Guns could have taken the guy down and finished him pretty relatively quickly. But Tommy Guns went out there. He wanted to put on a fucking show. I don't hate a guy who does that. I mean, for me, it's like, yes, if I have a bet on you, I want you to win. But like, if you don't win because you're the most exciting fight possible, how could I get mad? Because viewing it, like, for example, Curtis Blades versus Josh Hockett. I had Curtis Blades. I wasn't mad that Curtis Blades lost because I witnessed one of the greatest fight that I had ever seen in my entire life. And I'll put that on my mama. I'll put that on me. Josh Hockett versus Curtis Blades was the most exciting fight of all time. And I know you guys are going to be like, Clay Guida versus Diego Sanchez. It's like, guys, they are fucking 155 pounds. I take shits bigger than that. So give me Cody Steele. He's got heavy hands. He's got great grappling. This guy, he's coming in with a pretty good record, but he's lost like Quinlan Salkid and the Knockout King. What is that guy's birth name? The Knockout King, the Mongolian guy. Oh no.
Do you guys know why we say Cody? Like, everybody's like, oh, Cody Steele, that's a good porn name. You really exposed yourself because Cody Steele is a porn star. I just did a quick little PH search, and yeah, like he's got 1.3 billion video views.
His dad is a pervert.
Cody Steele is like, he's out here. He's done it. Yeah, I've seen this guy. I know exactly where I've seen this guy. I'm looking, you know, yeah, he's been with some mainstream actresses. Some AVN award-winning actresses. So you've seen Cody Steele, actually, and that's why everybody says, like, you know, porn names, like, yeah, it is a good porn. It's like, yeah, it is one.
He has to have been with the Bella Danger if that's the case. Like that's the only one I know the name of.
Oh, really? You're so pious.
Lisa Ann, of course. Lisa Ann.
No, I mean, the first video I saw, he was with I'm not going to say it, honestly. I'm not exposing myself deeper, but he's been with, just do a quick PH search. You'll see he's been with some award-winning AVN actresses that you know and love.
Yo, Ben Johnson has a Hitler mustache? What the fuck?
I think it's more of a Charlie Chaplin thing he's going for.
Or Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan also rocks the Hitler mustache. That's crazy, dog.
Speaking of, oh, guys, I didn't tell you. So I fucking got destroyed. No, not this Cody Steele. The other one is Cody with a C, Steele with an E at the end. Or without the E or whatever. Either way. I did lose a lot of money on UFC. It was a toss-up. Was I going to wear this shirt? Was I going to wear my Carson Hocevar Ride the Dente shirt? Carson Hocevar, 23-year-old Carson Hocevar, the next Dale Earnhardt, wins at Talladega. First NASCAR win at 23 years old. Does it at Talladega after a 23-car pileup. He comes through the fucking dust, wins at Dega. Couldn't be more proud. Shout out to Carson Hocevar, the Hurricane. You'd love Mouths. He did a stream with iShowSpeed. He's the man.
I love iShowSpeed. Everybody knows I love iShowSpeed.
Who told you about iShowSpeed? I told you about iShowSpeed.
You did not tell me about no iShowSpeed. You're crazy.
When you look into it.
But dude, Carson Osvar is taking the fucking he's taking the fucking the defibrillator to NASCAR right now. He is the hottest thing going. I bet $100 that Carson Osvar would win at Talladega. You know why I did? Not only because my wife loves him and I love him. We've been watching him from the very beginning of our NASCAR fandom, but because he said after he lost his last race, he said, "I don't care. We're winning this weekend." I said, "That's a verbal contract. I'm going to take you at face value. And if you lose, I'm going to be in your Twitch chat saying, hey, you owe me $100. That was a verbal contract." But he won. I'll be damned. He fucking won.
Let me take this next fight away first, because now I have to take a quick pee-pee. The Burnt Peanut is quality content right there, Justin. I couldn't agree with you more. Jonathan Mikulev versus Themba. Themba, let me get you a house, an apartment, actually. I'm going with Jonathan Mikulev. He's done nothing but shown me great things. He seems like a tough. I mean, guys, like some of these Aussies, the way you give them problems, you take them down, you ride them out, you put pressure on them, right? Themba is one of these unproven guys who shows a good work ethic, and all of a sudden we got to suck his dick because The Rock bought him a house. No thanks. I'm going with Jonathan Mikulev. He's younger. He's more talented. He's beaten far better Peeper.
Themba goes, everybody back in Cameroon hates me because they think I made all this money and they want me to. It's like, dude, we got rappers from Chicago building villages out in Nigeria. We got fucking rappers from Chicago going to Liberia. What's the guy say? Feed a village in Liberia, you know?
I have no idea, but I will say that,
what's his name?
King Vaughn was putting that money right back into O Block when he made a song.
It's like Themba, hey, it says more about you than it does about them that they hate your ass.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Like, same thing.
Break them off.
Same thing as this false narrative, this narrative that people are building that like Francis is a good guy in the slightest. Francis is a fucking scumbag, loser, piece of shit. And he'll go as far as to tell you that much. He went on Ariel Helwani. He said, "I'm sure there's a lot of cameras in there. Please put a tape of me grabbing Dana White by the shirt." And then Ariel Helwani says, "Oh, so you didn't do it?" And he's like, "I just said that there's a lot of cameras in there."
I just said you can't prove I did.
So bullshit. Francis is a fucking scumbag. And then Francis gets on the stage with Ronda Rousey and he says, "We all fight for the money, and that is it." So, like, okay, you left the UFC because you wanted a union, you wanted this, you wanted UFC Africa, da-da-da-da-da. PFL gave you everything that you fucking wanted, and you still bitch, you still cry, you still treat the PFL like shit when they literally did every single thing that you fucking asked of them. And all they ask you is, hey, we just brought everybody from our company to Africa. You mind stopping by?
Go pay. We don't need to hear about how you don't like the movie Sinners. We don't need to hear about this. Just go pay,
okay? Hey, you looped Aljamain Sterling into the 3 African kings, so I don't know.
I said he's a petty god.
What your problem is, motherfucker.
I just said he's a petty god.
Give me Jonathan.
He's as petty as Izzy. He's as petty as Kamaru. He's as petty as fucking Francis.
I thought you. Like he's representing a place that he's not actually from.
You know what? Hey, you know what? That too. He's not, but at least he's not as bad as Jordan fucking Trader Turncoat Burroughs.
Jordan Burroughs, a completely different scenario.
Didn't he go represent Jamaica in the Olympics or some shit?
There's a completely different thing because
I don't need to hear that.
No. And here's the thing: there's only 1 or 2 events you can do on the world stage, and if you don't have a seat, it is publicly accepted that you go to another country, that you have citizenship, that you can do that in wrestling. Because guess what?
I privately don't accept it.
That's perfectly fine, and that's your right to as an American. But at the end of the day, if UFC fighters don't gain or lose anything by representing anything, unless you're getting knocked out by a Chechen dictator's son on public video, then it becomes a public type of situation. Hamzat,
hey, Justin Gaethje,
yeah, no, exactly. Justin Gaethje's actually a scumbag because Where at
At
least
least
Hamzat,
Hamzat like is like, yeah, I'm a he's like an admitted like
it's permissible for Hamzat. Hey, I'm from this country. I want to come back to this country at some point. But Justin Gaethje is like, yeah, whatever. Me and Ali Abdelaziz are gonna go over to fucking Chechnya and hang out with this dictator. That's fun. Yeah, go fuck yourself. That's all weird and lame. And Justin Gaethje deserves horrible things to happen to him. And guess what? Another man will pay for Islam Makhachev's fucking cowardice. Give me Justin Mikulev. I'm gonna take a piss. Don't get me going again.
it is the sport where, Justin, I'll just say this. NASCAR, you should go watch Netflix, the documentary. It's called Full Speed. Give it a watch. It'll get you into NASCAR. I'll say this. NASCAR is as sophisticated of a competition as the UFC. I mean, UFC is one man versus one man. You win, you bested one man. You win a NASCAR race, you bested 32 other men. You look at 32 men in the eye and say, none of you could beat me in a race. And you ever see the video on YouTube about the Cannonball Run, New York to Santa Monica, New York to California, where people are just street racing to try to get the best time to go from New York to California, breaking all sorts of laws. Racing is cool. Racing is as cool. It's like right there with fighting. It's like if you are a good racer or a good fighter, you're the fucking man. The coolest kids in my high school, besides the kids that can beat ass, were the kids who fucking race dirt bikes and shit, because there's something to be said about, I mean, dude, I did 2 fucking races in Las Vegas in a go-kart, and I was getting fucking vertigo, getting dizzy, getting fucking gasoline fumes, hating my life. I'll tell you what, you can do fucking 500 laps at fucking Talladega or whatever it is. That is a impressive endurance feat. That is not easy. I've driven 2 hours and my fucking forearms are a little tired from fucking gripping the wheel. You're talking going 200 miles an hour, out pitting other guys, beating other guys, trying to get in position, risking crashing, risking dying. And furthermore, you got to have so much go right. You got to have the car, the specs, the build. You got to have the team. They got former Division I football players on these pit crews, running gas, changing tires. It's a team effort like the UFC. You got to have a good team behind you. But then you're out there by yourself, and you got to be in a car. That car is about, with your race suit on, with your flame retardant gear, that car is getting to like 140 degrees Fahrenheit. It's like being in a sauna for 5 fucking hours. It is no easy feat to win a race at Talladega. Carson Hocevar, absolute stud. Dude, Garth Brooks, also known as what's his alter ego? What's Garth Brooks' alter ego?
His emo side.
Yeah, his emo. Chris Gaines.
That's it.
Dude, no. Garth Brooks, soft smiling psycho Garth Brooks. Love him. Love his tunes.
Easy. You're crossing into full territory right now.
But I will say this.
It's a fucking fool's paradise.
You're living in a fucking fool's paradise. I'm living in a fucking fool's paradise. Guys, what do you guys like on YouTube? What are you guys watching on YouTube these days? I'm big into Small Brained American. I like his videos. Although he did kind of short stroke us with the latest one, in Sapporo. Too short of a video, not enough content. But I like him. I used to like the Luke Outdoor Boys channel. He's kind of fallen off. I used to like Camping with Steve. I like
the Outdoor Boys retired.
Shout out to the Daily Woo. Rest in peace, Adam the Woo. I like videos that make no goddamn sense to me, that I just will kind of watch. I just do like a little fool's watch. You know what I mean?
Fish Tank fell off. Fish Tank sucks now.
Yeah, I mean, I was watching some Frank Hassel highlights.
Best.
The problem is, like, every one of the highlights, they don't do enough. Like, they put music to it and they just do too quick. I need like long, prolonged Frank Hassel highlight videos,
But I like him sometimes, because when he was like chasing down Boogie in his house and Boogie pulls the gun and he says, "Castle Doctrine, Frank, I can shoot you dead." He says, "Hassel Doctrine, I can fuck you in the ass."
I mean, the season 2 of Fish Tank, the 70s season where Frank Hassel came in, and he's like, that was like borderline McCavey Manor or whatever it is. Like,
well, that one was like more brutal than ever, because everybody on that show was fish tank fans, and they convinced all of them that they were the plant, which is diabolical. Awesome.
I mean,
hilarious.
Like that shit like was like borderline haunted house. Like it was worse than a haunted house. It was worse than college, frat pledging. It was worse than anything I've ever seen. I mean,
there was no college style pranking going on. It was
dark,
it was brutal.
Brutal dark. I mean, they're spitting on each other. They're doing all sorts of wacky, that was wacky. But truly, the Frank Hassel season 3 Burt psyop was to this. I mean, it's cinema. I mean, it's Oscar award winning cinema.
The turn. There's nothing better.
There's nothing better.
Never loved you, Burt. You're a
air
sick,
mattress,
perverted freak.
Pops his air mattress. I mean, like it was truly like some of the best content on the internet. I mean, it's like, how do you even between the Alex B stuff, the Burt stuff? I mean, that was truly like chef's kiss. Hats off to Frank Hassel.
The biggest issue with this season is no Hyde. I sit there, I say, where's Hyde? Where's Hyde? Where's this? Where's his influence? It's all, I don't want to get too into the weeds.
Terrible. It was terrible. It was really not good. It was terrible. Bam did good.
Bam did amazing.
And I love to see Bam Margera just having fun again. It really is a good. I mean, and Bam.
He had Abe and Phil on. He rekindled his relationship with Abe and Phil. He hadn't talked to Abe and Phil for like 8 months to 2 years.
If Bam did that when he was like in his prime, whole different ball game. Like, because Bam with his own friends was like, they were like smearing shit on each other and pissing on each other, and like original CKY, like Bam is like, that's like fish tank. Like, I mean, Bam is kind of now a little bit more like, I got to play ball.
He has a shaman.
He's got the shaman. He's got the yoga wife. And nothing. I mean, I'm team Bam all the way. Fuck Steve-O.
Yeah.
Why can't we get Bam on JRE? We need to get Bam on Joe Rogan Experience. Steve-O's on Joe Rogan Experience every fucking other day, crying about repairing his public image and dude wipes for your butthole. And like,
everybody said that my whole show is just one big ad, and I was like, "Oh yeah, it actually is." What am I doing?
It is. His whole show is one big advertisement. Which I guess you could say for all these call medians, all they want you to do is say, "Haha, funny clip. Let me go to their." Well, Vito, he has a checkered past. I'm not gonna go that far, buddy. He was hilarious, but look into it.
Yeah, Vito is a good foil. He's funnier to laugh at than to laugh with. He doesn't. But anyway. All right, so I'm taking Micallef. You're taking Micallef. I'm taking Steele. Did you take Don Marfan or Steele?
I took Steele, baby.
Next, we got the absolute American treasure, Party Time Wes Schultz, plus 150 underdog, coming in 6 years younger than his opponent, who, again, making his UFC debut. I'm riding with Wes Schultz here, baby. I fucking think Wes Schultz is built for a Perth card. He's all gas, no brakes. He's going to sling fucking dicks. Ben Johnson's not going to know what hit him. If he got knocked out by 5-2 Caleb Rideout 4 years ago, and hasn't fought in 2 years, dude, Wes Schultz is going to have his fucking way with him. I'm going to put a big bet on Wes Schultz. I'm going to be getting a big, heavy wire before the weekend, and I'm going to be putting a big bet on Wes Schultz. I can't wait to be watching it with my son. I'm going to point to the screen. I'm going to say, that's a hero right there. And he's going to talk, I'm going to say to my son, I'm going to say, I'm going to look at my son at 1.5 years old. I'm going to say, don't you ever let me catch you making fun of a deaf guy, a guy with a speech impediment. Anybody who has communication issues in this life, you will respect and you will be their friend. And I don't want to hear you ever being a bully.
Luke, deaf guys, they have soft heads. So
who said that?
Tito Ortiz.
Tito did say that about Matt Hamill. Oh my god.
Oh man, that was Tito.
I love
Ortiz.
the balls on my mouth.
Don't forget, man. People forget, man. Tito Ortiz. He finished Chael Sonnen in 1 round.
Yeah.
He finished Tito Ortiz.
He beat the shit out of like Forrest Griffin. He beat the shit out of Stephan Bonner. Rest in peace. God rest his soul, Stephan Bonner.
I forgot Stephan Bonner died.
Yeah. He was actually pulled up. I was doing a deep dive on some Ronin videos where Ronin was sticking up for like Diego and Josh Fabia. And
really?
It was shortly before he died, probably like 3-4 months, and I was just like, Stephan. Man,
where Josh Fabia lost me was when he posted that video of him like in Diego's house, getting him to like sign away, like him getting him like he's like, and you'll sign this and say that I never like. And he was like bullying. He was like, okay, I'll sign. Like,
Diego needs a bullying.
Where's Diego Sanchez been?
He got arrested. In fact, recently, I think it was about 2 months ago. And I think he's like under a bridge somewhere asking about riddles. He's like
podcast idea: Nick Diaz, BJ Penn, Diego Sanchez. Okay,
Nick Diaz doesn't deserve to be looped in with those.
No, he doesn't.
I mean, if you've seen the stuff with him and his wife and Spartan Santana.
July 2025 for firing a gun at a moving vehicle. Okay, so, Cain Velasquez does it. He's a hero.
Where's everybody heroing for fucking Diego, huh?
Yeah. Do we know the circumstances? I mean, get real. Like, did somebody have his nephew kidnapped? Was this a Michael Johnson situation? Initially charged with shooting at or from a moving vehicle. He pleaded guilty to a felony gun charge, sentencing 5 years probation, avoiding immediate prison time. Guys, I'm just going to say this. Must have been a blue state. Okay.
Albuquerque is not.
Must have been a George Soros prosecutor. Okay, they're letting Diego walk, firing a gun in a moving vehicle. They're letting Diego fucking walk with 5 years probation. Tell you what, Diego shoots a gun at my fucking moving vehicle. He's doing some fucking jail time. I'm telling you that. I'm pressing charges. Like this is crazy.
Somebody shoots a gun at my moving vehicle. They're doing a lot worse than jail time. They're doing hell time.
They're going to be under said moving vehicle. I'm going to be using my car as a weapon. I'm going to be driving at them. I'm gonna duck. That's the thing about Carson Escobar. When he won, he hung out the car like Dale Earnhardt and
did a little ghost ride into the whip.
He didn't ghost ride the whip, but he was hanging out of the car. And he crashed it. It was sick. And he also had a lot of trouble. He had a lot of trouble like starting that whole process. Everyone's like, "Is he stuck in the car? What's he doing?" And he's like, and then finally he got it going, and he was like, that he did his little celebration.
If I ever won a NASCAR competition, which it's still not ruled out, I still have a possibility of doing it. If I go back to
races truck series,
if I go back to Vegas Speed, they might be like, "Hold on, we got something here." Because I was whipping the go-karts. So you put me in a real car.
You were operating off instinct. No one even told you any technique at all.
I've never learned any lessons.
And
I was drifting. I was drifting like crazy. Shout out to my buddy who had like a dirt area where I would drift all the time. Very fun. Don't recommend it. But if I were to ever win a NASCAR race, I would ghost ride the whip, throw it in neutral real quick, hop out the car, do a gritty, then a sea walk, then hop in.
All right, next we got Colby Thickneys versus Vince Morales.
Oh, I didn't even pick. I'm going Wes Schultz. Sorry.
Party time, baby. Party time. Plus one.
He's too sweet. He's too kind. He's too cute to give up on.
Too. He's gonna savage this guy. He's gonna fucking. It's gonna be
this guy. He's got a Hitler mustache. I can't condone something like that.
Colby Thickneys versus Vince Morales. I'm gonna go
Justin. If you knew anything about Luke's driving habits, pull that up. Luke has gotten into. Luke has gotten into more accidents without any other cars being involved than anyone.
Rubbing is racing, and guess what?
You didn't rub. You went into ditches.
You know who got into an accident? 23 NASCAR drivers got into an accident this weekend. All right, and guess what? When we were doing those go-kart races,
but those. Luke,
I meant to finish 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th when we did the races. But my point is this: when we were doing those races, there were a few different scenarios on the track where I had to make moves to not crash, and I did. And I went
Nobody saw that, but that was goddamn impressive.
Dude, Rob hit some Russian dude from the back. They pit into the first roundabout that you go around. I saw it. I said, drifted right around them, caught back up to Brad, gave him a little pat on the shoulder, said, hey, you're still going to take first, but I'm here.
Dude, yeah. I mean, Brad's a great racer. I'll say that. He won both back-to-back races. You know what I mean? It's like
Well, the first race was bullshit because I was sitting there talking to the people. I thought you were still in the bathroom. I'm like, no, we still have another guy back there.
Yeah, I was P1. I was P1 for that race. I took my time so I could get into that first car, you know? All right, so
I'd rather use Lukey hits toughness and willing to push the limit. You can,
Justin.
Can I make you a mod? How do I make him a mod? How do I make Justin a mod?
Justin, Lukey's toughness resulted in a 4-38 wrestling
he said, I'll fix his drive. Hey, Hurricane Hocevar, baby. There's going to be a cloud of smoke and carnage in my wake, but guess what? We're fucking getting there at Dega. All right?
Luke, I will race you any day of the week on the street, too. I've done a little street racing in my day. I'm not proud of it, but I have done it.
Whose truck did you total? Mine.
Never I got hit.
Yeah, you totaled it.
I got hit because somebody blew a stop sign. What are you talking
about? Guess what? You know, I give you my truck, you totaled it. So, Justin, you're the man. All right. Yeah, I'm taking Colby Thick and Nice. I'll be right back. 2 shakes of a lamb's tail.
Luke got into 3 accidents where no other car was involved, drove off the road
Alex,
in fear.
No other car was involved because of my fucking ability to make sure I kept
because you slid off the road because you don't know how to drive in ice, dude. You know how to drive in snow.
There's not fucking snow and ice on a NASCAR track, so don't got to worry about that.
Yeah, Luke doesn't know how to drift. Luke doesn't know how to drive. He's if you drive with Luke, you get car sick. That's a fact. All right, next up we got Colby Thick and Knees versus Vince Morales. I'm going Thick and Knees. Vince Morales is Garbaggio. I'm sure he lost to Alex Taporia. No shame in that. There's greatness in that name alone. It's like when I can't even think of a bad Gracie who fought. But you know, one of those guys, like if Rose Gracie beat you up, and I'm sure Rose Gracie beats up a lot of girls, but if Rose Gracie were to fight like Takanori Gomi or something and submit him, or get beaten, or no. It's like if Rose Gracie beat up Takanori Gomi or something. Sure, Alexander isn't as good as Ilya, but you know, he's still a Taporia at the end of the day. Give me Colby Thick and Knees. And you know, I'll field some of these comments. I can't pull them up on screen. I live in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Furman, little black ice going 5 miles per hour and Utopia drifting. Yeah, but Justin, the thing about that is like you got to know how to navigate that, right? Like I've driven through blizzards, I drive through storms, I drive through whatever. Like I'm the type of guy. My car will stay on the road. I drove from Philly to Vermont in a blizzard, an absolute blizzard. It took me a little bit of time, but if I stopped for 1 second, I saw cars that like got a little scared, stopped. Dude, you're getting covered in two feet of snow within 30, 40 minutes. Like it's no joke in these streets, you know, driving around. I drove from Denver to Breckenridge, Colorado for a ski trip once in a Ford Fusion and got a flat tire on the way. Still fucking pounded the rock. I went up like Hakeem Olajuwon. I said, I'm making it there. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to snowboard. If the rental company has to pick up my car, they're going to pick it up from the fucking ski resort because I am getting some runs in today. I didn't come all the way to Colorado to dick around.
All right, let's roll. You take Thick and Knees too?
Yeah.
All right, next we have
Thick and Knees, balls in your mouth.
Oh, I love the balls in my mouth. Next we got Jacob Malkoon versus Gerald Mershark. Malkoon versus Mershart.
something there. I can't think of it now. But
Luke,
Jake,
who were those guys that you had me raid their chat over the weekend?
dude, that's Uncle Weezy and Brady, DFS by the numbers, aka Stat Diggers. Great
They
show.
were sucking the Tafa's dick the whole time. I had to keep reminding him. Tafa is 700 pounds of shit in a 4-pound bag.
But that's his brother. They were saying this is the light heavyweight Tafa. He's not as fat.
He's just as fat. He's disgusting. He could be a middleweight. But anyway, we'll get on to Malku. Oh, Tafa.
Jake versus Jerry. I'm not taking Malkoon at minus 1,000 against Gerald Meerschaert or anybody. He's not minus 1,000 over fucking CM Punk, as far as I'm concerned. I mean,
crazy.
I mean, look, I'm not crazy, but I'm just okay. Look, he's not.
That is like sincerely.
He lost to Brendan Allen. He lost to Cody Brundage. He beat Nick Maximoff, Andre Petrosky on a fluke, and he beat Torres Finney in his first fight in the UFC, or maybe second. But it's like, dude, he's fighting 6'1" Gerald Meerschaert. His skill is jiu-jitsu. He's fighting Gerald Meerschaert, who has more submissions in middleweight history. The most submissions in middleweight history. If you look at his fights outside of the UFC, he's got like, how many submission wins has Gerald Meerschaert got outside? Total 29 total submission wins, 12 UFC wins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 UFC submission wins. By the way, 11 wins out of 12 total wins. The only way he wins is by submission. I don't think he submits Malkoon, so I think that's how he loses this fight. Not by submission, but by not being able to get a submission. Malkoon's the pick because he's 8 years younger. But at minus 1,000, you're out your damn mind if you think I'm putting it on anything at all. No thank you. Skip fight for me. Malkoon's the pick, but it's a skip. It's a skip. It's a pass. It's a not even, no value, no parlay, no nothing. You know, maybe a cheeky little insider scoop might be like Malkoon KO or decision. I don't think Malkoon submits Gerald Meerschaert, and I don't think Malkoon loses. So it's like, well, how does he win? I think he wins by decision in a little boring ass way, or he knocks Gerald Meerschaert out. You know, I think that's also possible. But Meerschaert, you know, he survived against better strikers. He's beaten better guys. He's got 58 fights total, and this guy's got 11. He's got more than 5 times the experience of Malkoon. I don't pick 38-year-olds, you know, whose path to victory is submission against a guy who's good at grappling. But I could see Malkoon getting on.
Malkoon is Rob Whittaker's jiu-jitsu coach.
Makes no difference to me. Dylan Dennis is Conor McGregor's jiu-jitsu coach. Who cares?
Dylan Dennis beats the shit out of a lot of guys.
I like Dylan Dennis. Look, and I think Nina Drama's she's fucked up for.
Oh, that was
outing him. Like, oh,
that
so
was below the belt.
Liberal Nina. You can't make fun of fat people, but you can out guys. You can just out people. Like, that's a special time in a gay man's life, is his coming out moment, and you wanted to just out Dylan Dennis because why? For the lulz? Like, it's fucked up, man.
Yeah, I mean,
and she wants to completely discredit bisexuality and say, "Oh, if you hook up with a guy, you're gay." Like, it's like, okay, so Nina, so you're not as open-minded. What I believe is whatever you and I believe, but I'm just saying.
Well,
I'm just saying that, you know, there's a whole sect of it's LGBTQ. You're gonna completely unalive. You're gonna completely deperson the B. The bees and the D's. The B's,
the D's, the G's, and the L's. I love the L's.
It's like,
but nah, yeah, that is super fucked up. And honestly, me and my fiance were talking about that the other day, and she was like, "Wow, that is crazy that like you tell her that off stream, and then all of a sudden she's sitting here fucking blowing your shit up." But I mean, who's to know? It's not some who's the guy you love?
And I got news for you. That means you're gay.
Yeah, we need.
I disagree, Ice. I disagree.
Luke,
Ice.
you know, like You've cut out things I've said with that word in it and the R word in it
Yeah,
as
but this
well.
was in context. This was in context. We were talking
Yeah,
about
but I'm
exactly
watching
that.
Barstool Sports and they're sitting here saying, "Oh, R-tard this, R-tard that."
Yeah,
And
yeah. Barstool Sports. That's not. Is that the fucking standard of fucking political correctness and niceness? Like,
honestly, in the Chicago office, yes, Libcat, he has everything on a pulse. You know, he almost killed Dave Portnoy because he did the interview with Trump. So
he's like, oh, I like the Grateful Dead. What's your favorite song?
they don't even have songs. They just play like the same
Yeah.
chord the entire time. And you
Like, yeah,
take
you like. Oh,
fucking
you like the
psychedelics.
Grateful Dead. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm sure you're a real deadhead.
Who the fuck likes the Grateful Dead?
I like Grateful Dead, but it's like, you know,
Grateful Dead is trash. Trash music for trash people.
Listen, I like the Grateful Dead just fine. I'm just saying that, like, Big Cat, you played football. You don't like the Grateful Dead. All right. I know guys who like the Grateful Dead. You can't talk to them. They've done 55 tabs of acid. They don't fucking speak English anymore. You know what I mean?
I take more umbrage that he just like hides.
Football players love to do that. They love to be like, I'm a hippie. You're not a hippie.
A hippie.
You're a football jock. You're a football jock. Okay. You're not a hippie.
Yeah.
Barstool
has gone down the tubes. Anybody who watched the spring break in Las Vegas where they're just letting everybody allude to things and then leave and not address any of them.
I don't know. I mean, I kind of fell off of watching it, but I kind of thought it turned a little fish tank-esque. I thought it turned a little, turned all right. I don't know, but maybe I'm wrong. I mean,
oh my gosh, you get me in there, I'm dumping a gallon of milk on half of those bitches' heads who will not just say a name. Say their name. Call me by my name. You know?
Yeah. I would give Nikki Smokes a swirly for disrespecting just.
See, I like Nikki Smokes.
I would give him a fucking swirly if I was in that house. I'd be like, this guy's
Nikki Smokes would punk you.
Dude, Nikki Smokes would be in the toilet, dude. Me and Big Cat Caddick or whatever that guy's name is. I'd be like, yo, I'm gonna be giving this guy a swirly. You better have my back.
Caddick would throw you in the toilet with Nikki Smokes.
No, I would easily make.
And you guys would start making out because you're.
Caddick would be a golem of my own making. Okay, I would have him as he'd be a puppet on my strings in 2 minutes, Caddick, because he'd be like, oh, Luke's the real bully, and I don't want to get on his bad side, so I'd have the muscle, you know what I mean, and then I would just start working from there. And I'll tell you what, who's the other Smokes? Tommy Smokes. He would be another foil. I would also foil him. I'd foil him. You know what I mean? I would get him in over his head. And I'd work from there.
You gotta have T Smokes as the puppet to say everything you want to say.
What I would do with T Smokes is I would get him in over his head quickly. Right? I'd get him real self-conscious. I'd get him completely thrown off as far as like, oh shit, like Luke actually, I might lose my job because of what I did with Luke last night. You know what I mean? Like I might like shit. Like I'd be like, don't you tell anybody now what we did. Like, he'd be kind of like, fuck. Like I'd get him like in like Mossad level, like got him. You know what I mean? So he'd be sitting there silent through all my workings. Right?
He'd be like, if you tell anybody about these lady boys that we hooked up with,
I'd kiss him or something. Like we'd kiss.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean? Like I would make him fall in love with me or something like that, or I'd convince him like we'd be in the hot tub, like South Park style, and then I'd be like, hey, listen, like now he's mine. Caddick, he would just kind of sense that that's coming, and he would be like, all right, and then Nikki Smokes is ripe for the picking. And by the way, I'd wait in the wing. I'd let him do all his drugs. I'd let him do all his like drinking. I'd let him get real.
Nikki Smokes is the man.
I'd burn his dopamine down. You know what I'm saying? So that way,
Nikki Smokes,
and that's what happened, right? Didn't he get dopamine burnout? And he was I saw a thumbnail where it was like he quits or something, or he taps out, or
he just went to bed early.
Exactly. I'd get him with dopamine burnout. I'd party hard because I would come in like 2 days in, high dopamine. He's already 2 days. His voice is hoarse. And I'd push it. Now all of a sudden his dopamine's low. You got to fish tank him. You got to Survivor it. You know what I mean? I was telling my wife the other day, if I was on Survivor, I would do like a Josh Hockett type thing. Right? I would be like many different characters throughout the whole Survivor experience. And the first character I'd be, you're going to love this. The first character I'd be on Survivor is, guys, I've been doing construction for 25 years. I can build us our shelter, right? So now I'm out there just hacking away at bamboo, and we're getting nowhere. We're getting nowhere. I'd be Russell Hands burning the socks. I'd be just I'd promise them. I'd be like, guys, I've been a general contractor for 25 years. All right. I'm blue collar. I'm a redneck. I know how to build shelters. You leave it to me. Shelter gets nowhere.
First thing I say is
no shelter. And then I flip to my next character. I go, guys, I was a theater major. I really thought that I could come out here and I could just build the shelter. I thought I'd put myself out there, and I thought it would come to me. And I'm going to be honest with you, I am not that. I'm not that guy. Now I get the sympathy. The girls are hugging me. They're like, it's okay. I'm like, I just thought I could do it. And then I go to one of the guys and go, yo, by the way, I'm actually from New York. So I got some guys, they're like, dude, Luke's like a gangster from New York.
No, everybody on the set is saying Luke is schizophrenic.
And I become impossible to vote out because they go, well, dude, Luke's like, he's never going to win. He's made too many enemies. Like, the jury hates him. You know what I mean? And I go, but meanwhile, then that's when I hit him with the final step of the process.
You took too many lessons from the Russell Hands School of Survivor, which is get to the end and never win.
I told him I said I would get to the end and lose, and I'd be fine with that. I don't care. Like, I want to just get to the end and have the jury be like, we don't even know who you are.
No one knows who you are, B.
No one knows who you are. I would just try my best to just establish deep.
I would go out there. First thing I'd say is my grandmother is on her deathbed, and my grandmother's
no, terrible. You save that till the very final four, because you know why?
No. You do that with the first person that you connect with on an emotional level, and you say, no, one. You take one to the side. You guys are talking. They spill beans about their personal life, and you say, listen, and I didn't even want to say this, but my grandma is actually about.
You're playing old school, but the new wave, next gen Survivor is nobody keeps secrets. Like, everybody is telling everybody about idols.
That's exactly what I want them to do, is tell everybody.
Okay.
Hey, and then they bring it up, and I say, listen, I did not even want to tell you guys that. I did not want to influence anything based on. I had a personal moment with Jim in the woods when we were looking for idols, and that was about it.
By the way, I'm also lying about everybody. Like, I'm saying, like they'll be like, well, you know, what's his name's of this, a computer programmer, or he's got a wife. He
told me he was a Scientologist.
I'd be like, he told you that? I'd be like, he told him. I'm like, dude, let me tell you something. He told me he lied to you. Like, I'm ruining everyone else. I'm creating so much hysteria and confusion. You know what I mean? That nobody really knows which way is up. I see. It sucks that I'm doing this live, because like I actually, the new season of Survivor, they're putting out every episode. They're like, hey, if you want to be on Survivor, like, apply here. Which tells
it's so funny. Luke is like, I have a feeling one day I'm going to be on Survivor, and they've had 50 seasons. He's been eligible to be on the last 20, and he has not applied to any of them.
I haven't applied because it's so annoying to have to apply. I feel like they should just,
like, you just want somebody else to do it for you because they know that you're good at it.
No, I just want them to just be like the fact that I would have to plead my case is like, I'm actually the only one who should be on Survivor. I'm actually the only one who deserves to be on Survivor. I'm the only one who's been watching since I was in literally kindergarten. Like, I don't, all these guys are like, oh, I've been watching Survivor my whole life. I've been watching Survivor my whole life. And first of all,
since season 1.
Since season fucking 1. And the reality is, like, since season 1 was live, I was in kindergarten. And the reality is, I deserve it the most to be on Survivor. But the problem is, like, I actually am going to apply because every episode they're like telling you how to apply, which tells me they're getting low and like applicants. Like, because honestly, it's not worth it. You get paid nothing unless you win them. Like, you get paid a little bit each day.
Right. 3, 2, 1. Your favorite Survivor contestant ever. 3, 2, 1.
Russell.
John Rocker.
Good one. Russell Hantz. Second, James Clement. Third,
Boston Rob.
No, I don't like Boston.
He has to be up there. Come on.
Johnny Fairplay was great.
Who's the blonde guy? Who's
Colby, the gay guy, Colby.
Tyson.
Tyson was great. Colby though was fucking great. Like
I love all. I watch compilations of Tyson's interviews where he's like, they show him talking to Jennifer, and he's like, Jennifer's a dumb bitch, and honestly, like, I think she's gonna be super easy to manipulate. Then he's talking to somebody else, and he's like, that guy has the IQ of a plant. Like, what?
Go back to season 1 and watch episode 1, season 1, where Richard Hatch, which I'll also put in the Mount Rushmore, he goes, I already have the $1 million check written. He says that episode fucking 1, and by the way, couldn't have had a worse day 1 in terms of like ostracizing himself slightly, being like,
I love when the Navy SEAL's like, yeah, I'm good friends with Richard, and I'm probably gonna have to explain some things to my friends at home, being as he's a homosexual.
Yeah, yeah. Like, I think he called him a queer.
Yeah,
which is a whole new definition of that word now.
Which is, you know, it's part of that's the cue.
I mean, Richard Hatch, absolute alpha daddy, Chad Zaddy, like. He day 1, he's ostracized himself completely, telling everybody that they don't know their ass from their elbow and they need to come together as a team. And like, he's like, I don't think you guys are doing this right. Like, he's doing everything that you would vote somebody out like first for, right? Like,
and then he was the first person to catch
no
a
precedent.
fish.
Nobody really knew what to do. There was no precedent. Then he's walking around naked. I mean, he's absolutely like doing everything that you would.
But then he was spearing fish.
Yeah, then he's going to get fish, and then he goes, you know what? I'm not going to catch any more fish for these people. Fuck them. Like, he's like, he's like, until I start getting a little bit more appreciation for the fish. He's like, they've gotten a little too comfortable. I'm done. I don't need to eat. I'm fine. I like the guys who like the suffering. Richard Hatch, Russell Hantz. Russell Hantz, like, this is fucking nothing to me. This is a vacation. He's like, he's burning socks. He's just making everybody mad.
Like, I've been on an oil rig for the last.
Oh, dude. I mean, truly. To be honest, like, Russell Hantz is forever my GOAT. He's the greatest Survivor player. Finding idols without clues. Russell Hantz, we need to get him on the podcast. I don't think it's actually out of our reach.
You don't think?
We have to get him on the podcast. I mean, I need to just tell him, like,
Let me see if I can get him.
All right, look him up. Anyway, we got to do it.
Look him up on Zoom info and see if you have his number.
Does he have a LinkedIn?
He has to. Gosh, he looks so young in these.
He does. No, he doesn't. This is a different one. We got. We can get him. We can definitely. I don't care if I have to pay him $1,000 cash. I will get him.
Calling him right now.
You're calling him? That's a different one. You don't have actual.
I got him.
Make sure you tell him that we're doing a podcast live right now.
Live to tape.
No, it's live. Oh, Alex is calling Russell Hantz. He's my favorite Survivor ever. He's the GOAT, in my opinion. I think that the bitter, disgusting jury both times cheated him out of his money and everything that he deserves. I think his piece of shit nephew, Brandon Hantz, absolutely disgraced his family by going on there and disrespecting the Hantz name. I would do just about anything to be menteed by Russell Hantz and to get him on the show and just to give him his flowers. I would just say, Russell, nobody truly to this day, nobody has done what you've done. Nobody's done it better than you. Nobody has played the game with more. And people will talk about integrity, this and that. It's like, hey, do you play Monopoly and tell them, oh yeah, I got to get out of jail free card? Like, do you play fucking Uno and say, I'm about to hit you with a reverse draw 4 wild? Like, no, you don't. You fucking play to win the game. And, Jeff Probst would say, oh, part of Survivor is ensuring you get the jury votes. Yeah, that's assuming the jury know how to play the game. That's assuming the jury have integrity, which is to say they understand it's a game and he fucking bested us. I mean, so, I love Russell Hantz. And, listen, I liked Parvati. I would put her in my Mount Rushmore.
She's the girl who called out
She was in Russell's alliance and she beat Russell. You know what I mean? So I would say Parvati, Russell, Richard Hatch. You know, I'm an old school Survivor guy. You know, I liked Big Tom, Survivor Africa. Colby is amazing. He's fantastic. Oh, Ozzy, who's in season 50 right now. Ozzy is absolutely challenge beast, social threat. Like Ozzy's the man. And all right, we need to do these fights, Alex. Like, come on. This isn't a Survivor.
Hold on, I'm texting back and forth with Ross.
Alex, can I just tell you what happened in season 50, though? The most recent episode, there was this nerd. He's a Harvard robotics.
No spoilers. I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Nerd, Harvard robotics professor. In Survivor season 50, they have all these opportunities where it's like, we need one person to agree to come on this boat and go to this place, right? And so he's like, volunteers, does rock, paper, scissors to get on this boat, because you go on the boat, you go to a place, you do a challenge by yourself, and you could come back with an advantage, right? Sometimes you even go to Exile Island and you get to miss immunity. You get to miss tribal council. So he wants to go. He goes to the fucking thing. It's just a puzzle. He just has to do a puzzle. He's a Harvard like robotics professor, building robots, or you know, maybe I guess not building them, but teaching, I guess, how to build robots. This guy can't build the puzzle, fucks it up, and the punishment is he has to vote for himself. He has to vote for himself. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Votes for himself, gets voted out. Now that's not the only thing. He also shit his pants on like day 2.
No.
Yeah. He thinks we forgot. We will never forget, Christian. You shit your pants and you couldn't do a puzzle. And it was the best because Ozzy, he was trying to get Ozzy out. And Ozzy's like, they told Ozzy, because everybody tells everybody everything in this season. So Ozzy goes, oh, we got to get Christian out. Like, duh, like he's trying to get me out. We got to get him out. So he comes back and he has to read this thing where he tells everybody that he has to vote for himself, and he'll be, you know, there will be at least, he doesn't get a vote. His vote will be for himself. And he has to tell the whole tribe. So Ozzy goes, like they do like the sidebar Ozzy kind of confessional. And Ozzy's like, he's like, oh, Mr. Robot couldn't do a puzzle. Sucks to suck, bro. Like you're out. It was so funny. Ozzy's just like trashing him. It was the best. All right, let's move on. Junior Tafa, Kevin Christian. I'm taking Kevin Christian. I will never bet on a Tafa brother ever. Not in Perth. Not otherwise. Tafa's the favorite. This guy got submitted.
I went Malcoon, by the way.
Now Kevin Christian, he claims Brazilian. I'm looking at him. I'm wondering if he's Indian.
Yes, I was born in Brazil.
Shout out to Gray Shirt. I don't know if you guys are Gray Shirt followers, but I mean, if this guy's 6'7", 80-inch reach, 8-inch reach advantage over Junior Tafa, he's gonna fuck Junior Tafa up. I'm taking Kevin Christian. He's gonna beat him. I mean, he lost to Billy Alcana by submission. Okay, not a threat against Tafa. Tafa also lost to Billy Alcana by submission 3 months later. So tells you nothing. He also lost to Tuco's by submission. This guy actually has submission wins, you know, to his credit. I think he beats the shit out of Junior Tafa. I'm taking Kevin Christian.
Yeah, I mean, this runs deep. My hate for Tafa or my hate for
Kevin Christian. You don't know him.
Kevin Christian.
You don't. He's Brazilian. You don't know him.
Yes, he might be Brazilian, but now that you mention it, I don't know.
There just historically has not been any Indian fighters to have any success to speak of in the UFC or otherwise.
Yeah, and I'm my family. We're Pakistani in my family, so like,
all right. Well,
I have my feelings.
If you can communicate this product, you can make money off the product.
Luke, even that fucking like drop, like it's shit because like you could see yourself like hitting the 10 seconds back thing. Like that's bad.
I
That's
know.
bad.
They're all bad. I don't know what to tell you
You
guys.
got-
It's a purpose. It's ironically bad. The podcast is
Luke,
ironically
you need to give me hosting privileges of this because I have so many drops I've sent you over the years. Not one has been added. Not one thing has been done. We've had the same
Alex,
product.
all you have to do is
We've
type
had the same product for the last
Alex,
3 years of this product.
you just have to fucking literally go to StreamYard.com, type in my email address, and
I
then
don't know your
text
email
me,
address
and then
or
text-
password.
Okay, you don't need a password. You text me, and because the way that you log in is you type in the email address, it emails you, and then you say yes, log in. It's like a
Give me your email address. Give me your password.
There's no password.
Joel is sucky.
Okay. I mean, am I fucking crazy? Am I fucking crazy right now? Am I fucking local?
Yeah, take juice on Junior Tafa against a guy with fucking 8 inches of reach and fucking 5 inches of height against him. I mean, that's makes sense.
No, I could never take a Taffa, brother. They're fucking redacted. They suck. They're fat. They're disgusting. They're pathetic human beings. Yeah, give me Jessica Chastain's little brother, Kristen Chastain.
All right. Next, we got Robert Bryjak versus Cam Rouston. By the way, we've picked every fight the same so far.
The Agreeable Guys pod.
You can go first here.
I'm going to go first. And this might surprise some people. Or it won't if you've ever watched the podcast ever. I love my Polacks. Polak myself through and through. I'm going with Robert Bryjak. I love Polish power. There's nothing I love more than Poles, Polacks, the whole 9 yards. Give me Robert Bryjak. Luke, how many Poles does it take to change a light bulb?
How many?
They're still trying to figure it out.
Oh, jeez.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna go with the look. I see value on Robert Bryjak, but I'm gonna go with Cam Rouston. City kickboxing, back to back knockouts, knocked his way out into the UFC against an undefeated fighter. Knocked out Andre Petrosky. Knocked out Cody Brundage. I see him as just the taller, more wiry, athletic, mantis-like build. This will be the first one we disagree on, and I'm going with Cam Rouston. But I do see value on Bryjak. I think that Dan, rest in peace, came on here and was like, I watched tape on this guy. He's really good, and he fucking lost to Igor Pateria. So, I got to just go with Rouston here. Next, Tai Tuivasa versus Louis Sutherland. You will never, ever, put it this way. Elon Musk, he said that the most hilarious outcome is usually the most likely outcome. Bam Bam Tai Tuivasa is straight up on a losing streak for the ages, talking 6 in a row. Cyril Gahn, Sergey Spivak, Alexander Volkov, Marcin Tybura, Jairzinho Rosenstrike, and Taliesin Teixeira. Fucking 6 losses in a row. I mean, but I'll be damned if Louis Sutherland doesn't suck ass. I mean, he just got knocked out a month ago. I'm taking Tai. Fuck it. I'm taking Tai. The UFC, they're keeping him here for a reason. They have Louis Sutherland here for a reason. I'm going with Tai Tuivasa. I don't think he's talented. I don't think he's good. I do think he's fat. I do think he's lazy. I do think he is made way too much money to ever win a UFC fight again. Drink West Adelaide, Ishii, for the boys, like all that shit. But if he doesn't win this fight, it's all, this is just got to be for pride. I mean, come on, home field advantage coming in. Not necessarily, I mean, he's not from Perth, but, Ty's got to win. And I think that Sutherland's too slow, too plodding. His traps are too big. His His build is too big. Tai Tuivasa just got that tattoo. It says jiu-jitsu. He could fucking take Louis Sutherland down. Like, he really could. That's how bad Louis Sutherland is at grappling, at striking, at jiu-jitsu. I think that Louis Sutherland could and should knock him out, but for some reason he won't. So let me get Tai, I guess. I mean, no. Louis Sutherland.
Bro, sounds like a Minecraft villager.
I just can't. I can't really pick this fight. I mean, it's fading a bad fighter with a worse fighter no matter which way you go. I mean, they're both bad and worse and terrible and awful and terrible, but I just got to go with the, I got to go with, like, it's got to be Tai, I guess. I mean, I'm going to go with Tai, but not
it's got to be Tai, just like the boys you like. That is the only way to win this fight. I mean, Louis Sutherland, the vanilla gorilla, he wants to sit here. He's lost every fight he's had in the UFC, hasn't won a single one. 1-1 in the PFL, 0-1 in Bellator. Every time the bright lights have hit him, he's been cooked. Let's just hope that Mark Goddard is in the reffing position for this fight, because he won't let Louis take too much damage. And I mean, you look at Bam Bam, sure, he has a ladies record, 14-9. Lost to Teixeira, lost to Rosenstruck, lost to Ty Burrow, lost to Volkov, lost to Sergey, lost to Gon. How the fuck's this boy got a contract still when my boy Martin Budet is out on the streets fighting guys roided up to the gills, knocking him out? But he knocked out Derek Lewis. He knocked out Augusto Sakai. He knocked out Derek Hardy. He knocked out Harry Hunsucker. He knocked out Stefan Struve. And then all the guys he lost to before that, still good guys. Like, the guys, pardon me, the guys that Teixeira is losing to, or Tai Tuivasa is losing to, are top 10 guys. Not saying much for the heavyweight division in the UFC, but give the bull some credit. He's been at the top of this division for a while, and sure, he has 5 losses, and Martin Budet was 6-1 and got cut. And he lost his first fight, and he went on a 5-fight winning streak, which is insane. Insane to think somebody loses their first fight in the UFC, gets another chance, right? Wins 5 in a row, and then is cut. I'm a Martin Budet truther over here. He could probably be top 5 in the division. I know that he lost in a different organization, but they're not getting tested the way that these guys are getting tested. So give me Tai Tuivasa. Give me Tai Tuivasa by knockout, emphatic knockout. He's going to be much longer coming into this fight. I know it says that he's shorter and a shorter reach, but I don't believe that. Like, I saw Louis Sutherland. He looked like a fucking meatball out there. Meatball day. Shout out to fucking Snooki. We're going with Tai Tuivasa on this one. Meatball day! He's going to knock his ass out.
All right. And next we got Steve S. Brendo Pericik for Shamel Gaziv. I'm going with Brendo
Shamel Gaziv?
Shamel Gaziv. I'm going with Brendo Pericik. I think I like what he did in his last few fights. I think he's hardier. I think Shamel Gaziv's a wincer. He's a bit of a wincer. Punch him and he winces. So give me Pericik.
Not for me, lad. Not for me. Is this the first one we're disagreeing on? No, Robert Brashick. Second. So give me Shamel Gaziv. The blob. The blob is coming in full force. I can see. Look at the guys he lost to. Look at the guys he beat. He was supposed to fight Sergey Spivak 3 different times. About reschedule. Both of them withdrew once.
Meanwhile, it feels like a fight you've seen a million times.
Give me Gaziv. I don't trust the Balkan Bear. Not yet. He's fought bullshit the entire time. Aleska Elazon never fought again in the UFC since that fight. And then he beat Louis Sutherland. He was 0-2 in the UFC. So he has yet to show me anything. And I think, okay, maybe I'm wrong, but I thought Louis Sutherland had a little success against him in the beginning of that fight. Give me Shamil Gaziev. Don't love it. He's given up a lot of reach. He's given up a lot of height. Dude, these fucking metrics are bullshit. Because you will see both of these guys in the cage. Their arms will not be as long, and their height will not be an inch off. There's no fucking shot that Shamil Gaziev has an inch short of reach and an inch short of height. There's a 0% chance. Like, all of these metrics are completely off. Give me Shamil Gaziev. He's going to be the smaller guy, but he's going to get on the inside and knock his ass out. Because Brando Petchich has had issues with worse fighters. And Shamil Gaziev is actually
speaking of, is Louis Sutherland almost took him down. He kind of like, which could be how he beats Ty. I mean, he could, if Louis Sutherland does what he did to Brando Petchich against Tai Tuivasa, he will take him down. You know what I mean? I'm switching. I'm going Sutherland.
Drink south or drink west. What does he say?
Yeah, something. I'm going with Sutherland, actually. I'm switching my pick.
All right. Next fight up is Tim Elliott versus Steve Erceg. Luke, who do you have for this one?
Erceg all day, all night. Elliott's good, but long flight, long travel. Erceg needs a win. Erceg is very talented, and he did do back-to-back losses. I can't believe he got knocked out by Kai Kara-France, but I think he beat Pantoja. He lost to Brandon Moreno, close fight. Beat Ode Osborne, tough customer.
And Tim everybody Elliott knows Kai Kara-France. Him and his team are fucking finish.
Tim Elliott's 39 years old at 126. He's not going to win this fight. He's not going to submit him. He's not going to knock him out. He's going to do his little shuck and drive, mimicking Dominic Cruz style, and he's going to get head kicked. So give me Steve Erceg by knockout.
Wow. Impressive. Yeah, I'll take Erceg too. He's just better everywhere. He's better striking. He's better on the ground. He's actually guys, I hate to harken back to this fight after, especially he got knocked out by Kai Kara-France directly after that, but he beat the shit out of Alex Pantoja. Like, he won that fight. He should have been ruled the champ, but for whatever reason, he did not. Give me Steve Erceg. Tim Elliott is a cuck.
Oh, that's disrespectful.
He's an admitted cuck.
That's not true. A cuck is a bird that raises another bird's young. Truly, definitionally speaking. Okay, he's not raising Jillian Robertson's young. He just is a guy who dated a girl who's for the streets, engaged to a girl, married a girl who's for the streets. When she took the Airbnb.
She took his best friend. She took everything.
Yeah, Jillian Robertson's a savage. That's her nickname, and honestly,
no, you're not. It's not Jillian Robertson. It's not. Who is it? It's Gina Mazzani.
Okay. Jeez, this is old. Every picture I see of Gina,
they both have red hair.
I'm like, that piece of shit. So, sorry, Jillian Robertson. I really thought it was Gina Mazzani. Okay, all y'all UFC women look alike.
But you don't date a girl named Gina or Jillian for that matter.
You know.
Like, oh, that's your takeaway?
Quinlan Salkill versus Beneil Dariush.
Oh yeah, easy one, tough one, right? Easy one, tough one. I think if you look at Beneil Dariush's last few fights, we would have all assumed he would have lost to Moicano. Didn't. Crazy fight. I think Moicano is talented. You know what I mean? I don't know what the fuck was going on there, but I was there live when he got knocked out. This card right here by Benoit Saint-Denis in 16 seconds. Too soon of a comeback for a 36-year-old. Beneil Dariush been having gray hair, but it's like he gets knocked out by BSD, he gets knocked out by Arman, quick and easy, but then beats Moicano, beats Gamrot, right? So it's like hard to really get a read on Beneil, but I don't think they're shipping him over to Australia to win. And I don't think at 36 years old, he's, going to get that title shot. I think he's demoralized, defeated, and downtrodden. That being said, if granted, it was, 5 years ago, but if Pablo Toro Yabella at 0-0 can rear naked choke sub Sal Killed in his debut fight, I don't see why. Meanwhile, Sal Killed subbed Dom Marfan twice in round 3 and round 2 in 2 fights that they fought together. Also, he beat Gage Young to get into the UFC. Gage Young just had a win. Knocked out Anshul Jubli in 19 seconds. Knocked out Nazaret Hapras in brutal fashion. Choked out Jamie Malarkey. I'm going with Sal Killed by knockout. I just think that the Perth air, the energy in Australia is going to be too high by the co-main time. I think by this point you're going to have a lot of Australian wins, whether it's it could be anybody from Mikolev to Thickenese to Tai to Perachik to Urseg. I mean, lots of Australian wins are going to really get the crowd going. Co-main event time. It ain't going to be early there. Beneil Dariush not used to fighting at 8 a.m. Give me Sal Killed by knockout. Round 1.
Let me preface this. On all of my perfect parlays, Sal Killed will be all on them. Just because
I won't be doing that. I mean, the odds are too deep for that, but I'll go Sal Killed knockout round 1.
But a perfect parlay, 11 fights, all of the multipliers you get for having 10 correct fights in a row, right? So that'd be like some of them are dogs. They're drugging fighters. It's obvious. Now I will say this. Sweet Pea Grable. If I see Beneil Dariush sitting here hugging a fucking koala bear, all bets are off. But what I'm saying is I'm putting Quinlan on like my perfect parlay, right? So if you were to, but like I can't even confidently say, I think my pick is Beneil. I really do, because
I don't hate it.
Although he's checking off boxes on knocking out minorities, like he is not going to get the jump on Beneil Dariush, right? Like you look at the guys he's beaten, Hapcrass sucks. Jamie Malarkey, mentally challenged. Yanil Ashmoose.
Red Fox.
A lot of bad blood there. And Anshul Jubli. I mean, honestly, Anshul Jubli, he got the right matchups. He probably could have knocked out Habib. Our Kings will come back again.
This is of no concern to us. Anshul
Jubli will be back. Has he fought again since?
He's gonna bait. He's gonna do so. He's gonna knock out Islam. He's gonna bait Khabib out of retirement. Anshul Jubli will rise.
Jubli will rise. All of our Indian Kings will. We was kings. But honestly, my God's honest pick is gonna have to be Beneil. But since he's such a heavy dog, like on my perfect parlay, I'm going to leave room for error there, where I am taking Quinlan, and sure, it will only bump it up. Like, I mean, after 10 fights, if I get all the first 10 fights correct, it'll probably bump it up like $500 at that point, just because. If any of you guys know how a parlay works,
sounding like Dan is driving me out of my mind right now.
Huh?
You're sounding like Dan. It's making me upset.
No. I'm saying like I'm going to be on both sides of this. Like where on my perfect parlay, I'm doing the opposite of Dan. I'm setting myself up for success, because if it gets to Quinlan Sal Killed, it's so easy to hedge on a plus 335 underdog going into that fight if my parlay is still alive, correct? So I think Beneil will win. So if you want my official pick, Beneil is going to win. But every parlay that I place is going to have Quinlan Sal Killed on it, because Beneil is such an easy hedge play. And even if all my parlays are dead by then, I can just straight up bet on Beneil Dariush. I think Beneil Dariush is going to win. I think he is tactically better. I know that he's given up dude, they like this shit. 5'10" versus 6 foot. There's no shot that Quinlan Salkilde is only 2 inches taller than Beneil Dariush. There's no shot that he only has a 3-inch reach advantage on Beneil Dariush. That is fucking stupid, bro. There's a 0% chance that those metrics are accurate. I think Quinlan's going to have more of a reach, more of a height advantage. But I just think Beneil Dariush, like, although he has gotten stone cold knocked out by BSD, by Charles Oliveira, by Arman Sarukian. I mean, that was ground and pound, whatever. Like, dude, he's beaten a lot of really fucking good guys, man. And I do think that he still has more in the tank. He's a Christ believer. Christ will give you more.
Too damn early, you know. Where does Beneil get caught slipping when he's coming out there? When he's coming out there in these fights, and he's not like game from like how long's he been in Perth, dude? That flight, Beneil's so old, and like that flight,
he's probably there already.
But either way, that flight. Let's look at his. I'll look at his Instagram. But that flight, it's too long. The time change for a guy that old, it's too much. And I just think that he's going to get smoked. I think he's going to get caught slipping early, you know?
I think he looks at this as like, oh, word, I already wake up at 4 a.m. before my fucking enemies. And then I get to the arena and I'm already locked in because that's when I train anyway. I train at 6, 7:30 in the morning. Give me Beneil Dariush. I know, guys. It's ugly. It's disgusting. It's not what I want, but I gotta take it. But as I said, all of my parlays will have Quinlan on them just so I have an easy hedge play. You know, whether it juices at $100 or $50, at the end of the day, it's going to be so much easier to hedge on somebody who's plus 330, who's probably going to go even below that, like 350, 340, or 350, 400.
All right. ChatGPT says there's no actual, like I said, is Beneil Dariush in Perth? He said there's no confirmed public report that he's in Perth yet. And then
stop asking that fucking clanker about all of your fucking issues.
I said check the public flight logs. It said I checked the only places you can realistically see that: flight logs, tracking chatter, recent updates. There's nothing publicly showing Beneil on a tracked flight into Perth.
This fool ain't got Instagram.
He hasn't posted on Instagram since March 1st. I'm not much of a social media guy.
He's just down Vato, homie. He's just down Vato right now, dog. What you gotta say, dog? If the Incredible Hulk was here right now, what would you tell him? Say, this guy runs the whole fucking heavyweight division, man. This guy is the whole heavyweight division.
He smokes Tom Aspinall. I put him right now. If there was a place to bet this, I'd say to be champion by January 1st, 2027. Down Vato, Josh Hockett. But the problem is the heavyweight division is so clogged up that I might need to just wait till Jan 1st. And
there is actually places that you can place that. You can place that on DraftKings.
I checked DraftKings. You can't bet it. It's not there yet. I think Barichick rolls too. Dirty rag. McConnell looked drugged against Dariush. Maybe they gave I don't know. I mean, I think they're going to have him petting
dose. They gave him the hero's dose.
They're going to have him petting a snake. They're going to have him petting a fucking koala, a marsupial of some sorts, getting him all sick from the fucking indigenous. Look, next fight, you're going with Beneil. I'm going with Salkilde. Salkilde round 1 knockout. Just putting the fucking pipe to. It's going to be a piping, as stat diggers would say. It's a piping on sight. He's going to get piped. Dariush to get piped on sight. Next, Jack Della Maddalena versus Carlos the Nightmare Prates. What do you think about this one, Alex?
I think Carlos Prates fucking rings his bell. I mean, I like I said, like every single win of Jack Della Maddalena makes my buddy Basil Hafez look better. And I have videos with him, I have pictures with him. I won't release those because you don't tap and tell him. But what I mean by that is you don't tap out by somebody and then tell the world that you tapped out by him. He twisted me in nuts. Basil Hafez. I'm going with Carlos Prates just because, like, Jack is a boxer. If Jack goes for a takedown, you guys know that he knows that Carlos Prates, cig smoking, double blunt choking. What's that Lil Wayne song? I don't know. Anywho, I think Carlos Prates puts Jack Della Maddalena's nose on the right side of his face.
Man, you know what's funny about this? So I actually first kind of like look at this fight. I felt the same way. I said he's gonna fucking put his fucking nose on the other side of his face. And then I started to think more and more about it, and I was like, you know, who would win a boxing match? I think Jack Della would win a boxing match. And I thought, you know, he got taken down for 5 rounds against.
This ain't no boxing match, Vato.
I was there live.
Elbow match, Vato.
You know, I was there live, and it's like if you can survive 5 rounds, 25 minutes with Islam, like that's pretty good. I mean, like, you know, Islam's got you right where he wants you for 5 rounds, and you survive. Like, I can't really hate on him for losing that, and I can give him props for not getting finished in a lot of ways. I don't think it's going to be the same fight whatsoever. I think it'll be a completely standing up fight, but you know, Jack's from Perth, and he's not going to get knocked out.
You will.
You think you will?
You will. You will get knocked out because
see, this fight to me feels kind of like the last week's fight. It feels like Sterling versus the Law, where it's like Prates is the Law.
Who thought Leon Edwards would get knocked out?
I mean, here's the thing about that. Like, Leon Edwards, his best win after losing the title was against Colby, like phoning it in Colby, like not there to fucking compete.
But he had 11 fight win streak before he even went into the title, right? Or was that
you know, Leon's 34. He lost to Bilal. He lost to fucking Brady. He lost to Prates. You know, I was there live for that. It's interesting that both these guys fought on that Madison Square Garden card. Prates getting an amazing knockout on Leon. Jack losing a decision to Islam. So they're right there on the same schedule.
Come back to the screen.
They're right there.
I'm sick of this freezing up bullshit. Okay,
they're right there.
Look it up on your fucking phone if that's the case.
They're right there on the same schedule. So then, you know, my normal criteria would be like, okay, Jack Della Maddalena loses that fight against Islam, Super Bowl hangover, whereas Prates, amazing highlight finish. Hot, riding a high, gets right back to training in that shit. Jack kind of rebuilding, you know, looked pathetic against Islam, crying, wincing, looking like somebody
Can
shot.
I tell you the difference real quick? Just real quick.
Yeah.
On JDM's best run, right? Bilal Muhammad. I know he is Canelo striking, but not quite.
Yeah.
Gilbert Burns. Kevin Holland split decision. What the fuck does Carlos Prates do to Kevin Holland? He puts him in a wheelchair for the rest of his fucking life. I'll be the first to tell you. Basil Hafez split decision. Randy Brown, mental idiot, grabbed the koala by the paws. Danny Hot Chocolate Roberts out of the UFC. Hamzan Amaev out of the UFC. Pete Rodriguez out of the UFC. His Contender Series fight was Angie Lusa, who we all had pretty high stock in, but I'm pretty sure he got cut by the UFC as well. So when you look at him, he's outstruck a bunch of grapplers, okay? And he's been able to keep grapplers off of his back. How does he do against a striker? The only piece of evidence we have about how he does against a striker is Kevin Holland, who got beat the shit out of by the real Vato, Daniel fucking Rodriguez. So we're sitting here blowing up. Oh, he's such a great striker, best boxer in the UFC. He's only fought guys who fucking suck at boxing and has had great takedown defense and great back defense and great submission defense. And that's all. He's not going to go out there and guess what? I would bet $1,000 on this right now. JDM is going to go for a takedown in this fight. He is going to go for a takedown because he's going to be hit with elbows from Carlos Prates, with the ash of his cigarette bouncing off of his elbow in that matchup. I mean, you can go with JDM, go ahead, but I feel more passionately about this fight than I did with Aljo when I called you a fucking idiot last week. I think Carlos Prates knocks JDM on his ass. He has never fought a predominant striker in the UFC, even dating back to Basil Hafez, who took him on 8 days' notice and then took him down with no regard, and also was kind of clocking him around a little bit on the feet. I thought Basil won that fight, but that could be my prejudice. I love Basil. You can't tell me that he has fought a predominant striker in the UFC once. The only person he did was Kevin Holland, who he won a split decision over. What, and Luke, answer this. What does Carlos Prates do to blunt smoking Kevin Holland?
It is really a cigarette smoker versus a weed smoker. Jack Della, I believe, is is a weed smoking guy, right? So
no, he's just that dumb. He's just that mental. Luke, answer this question: what does Carlos Prates?
Listen, you've actually convinced me. You've talked me back on to Prates, because I was originally on Prates. I came in here thinking I was going to pick Jack Della, because for exactly this reason that Sweet Pea Grable said. Jack Della, the better minute winner, maybe just kind of putting out. Prates ain't going to try to take him down. Jack could be throwing some smoke to keep him at bay. We've seen, but here's my thing.
Who throws more smoke, though? Carlos Prates throws strikes with intention to finish. Jack Della, he didn't knock out Bilal Muhammad, and they stayed on the feet for 25 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. Who knocked out? You know who knocked out Bilal Muhammad? Do you? Victor Lupi? Let me look it up. It's Vincente Luque. I said Victor Lupi. That's pretty close.
Well, listen, my thing is, I think the fight with Ian Gary was actually a draw. I think that if you look at round 5, Prates 10-8'd him. I mean, he knocked him down, almost knocked him out, almost finished him in round 5. So I'll go with Prates as well. I do think he's going to be the more deadly striker. I think Jack Della is going to get outranged, out-heighted, and doesn't have enough skills or tools in other than his boxing to really. But my thing is just like in Perth, Jack Della, like tough as nails. Like, is he going to get like? I didn't see him. I didn't see him getting knocked out. And sometimes Prates can get a little sleepy in there. So I agree with Sweet Pea Grable, but I'm going to side with you and go with Carlos Prates. I do think he could crack Jack Della. I mean, put it this way. He was losing that fight against Gilbert Burns. Caught him with some transitional shit. I don't think he's going to have those same opportunities against Prates to catch him in some transitional shit. And if you look at what Mike Malott did to Gilbert Burns, it's like, yeah, I mean, what does Prates do to Mike Malott? Beats the fuck out of him.
Yeah.
Prates spikes Gilbert Burns' head into the fucking first row with a knee. You know what I mean? So I think
both of those guys
And you know what they say about home field advantage? I mean, he's from Perth. He's going to have everybody hitting him up for tickets, a lot of distractions, Super Bowl hangover, a lot of pressure. I'm going to go with Prates. I'm going to go with Prates as well. I came in here thinking...
Sweet Pete, don't give him credit for my points that he just, like, suddenly agreed to.
Well, I had the point about Gary. You know, I came in here thinking...
Stop flicking your nipples like you're part of Jackson
Wing. I came in
Wing.
here thinking I was going to pick Jack, but I'm thinking it's gonna look like this. He's gonna get his nose. His nose is gonna end up back to normal. He looks like McGregor if you put his nose normal. I'm going with Prates as well. I'm hoping I make my money before. I'm hoping I make my money before this fight happens, but I'm gonna go with Prates.
I should never wear I'm not a backwards hat guy. I looked like Sammy Adams there.
I'm a big backwards hat guy. I look great in a backwards hat, but I kept hitting it on the chair, so I had to turn it forward. All right, let's go through the full picks, top to bottom. If you're rolling with me, you're going with Carlos Prates, Quinlan Salkilled, Steve Asseg, Brendo Parachik, Louis Sutherland, Cam Ralston, something Christian to beat Junior Tafa, Jacob Malkoon, no bet, Colby Thickenese, Wes Schultz, my lock of the night, my dog of the night, Jonathan Mikulev, and Cody Steele begrudgingly.
For me, it's Cody Steele, Mikulev, Wes Schultz, my hero, Colby Thickenese, Jacob Malkoon, Junior Tafa.
Really? I had you down for Christian, but okay.
No, give me Christian. Sorry. Christian, Kevin Christian. Crusade. Give me Robert Brieszek, Ty Tuivasa, Shamil Kazeem, Steve Esseg, Benil Dariush, Carlos Prates.
And the Trilby Certified picks are going to be Carlos Prates, Steve Asseg, Kevin Christian, Jacob Malkoon, Colby Thickenese, Wes Schultz, Jonathan Mikulev, and Cody Steele. So all gas, no breaks through the prelims. With
what are the oppos? So you have Cam Ralston.
I have Ralston, Sutherland, Parachik. You know, Sutherland's a sloppy and like, what am I going to do there, right? But I have Parachik over Gaziev. I can see your point with
Ty Tuivasa has gotten some robberies where he didn't deserve him in the past.
I mean, the split decision against Jairzinho Rosenstrike, he lost every fucking round of that fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going with Salkilled over Dariush, Sutherland over Tuivasa, Ralston over Brieszek, and
running wild through the hills, chasing Jesse James.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I can't wait.
I've been practicing every day. Don't worry.
Love it. Well, boys, we'll be up bright and early to watch these fights, and you West Coast guys. I mean, I think you got it better than I do. 1 a.m. start time, 4 a.m. main card. You're in bed by 6 a.m. baby. You're pulling an all nighter.
You're in there. Papa Addy, Papa Molly, you're in there.
You're sweating. I say just pull an all nighter. For me, I'm getting up at 4 a.m. with my 1-year-old. Like I said, we're gonna be passing the breast milk back and forth like 40 ounces, and I'm gonna teach that boy something. He's gonna learn something.
You already showed me the video of him very concerned about Nick Diaz while he was fighting Paul Daly.
I said, "Don't worry, son. Nick Diaz gonna come back. Don't worry." And then I was showing my boy all kinds of classics: Diaz versus Daly. I showed him Sonnen versus Silva 1. He digs these fights. All goes well. Tomorrow, I'm gonna get my daughter in her first jiu-jitsu class. I know. We talked a lot of shit about jiu-jitsu.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
We gotta get her in a little jiu-jitsu. We gotta get her.
Teach her.
I need her to do jiu-jitsu because I want her to fucking
homeschool her jiu-jitsu, Luke.
No, dude.
You don't want her to turn into Rose.
I get her 4 years of jiu-jitsu by age 8.
by the time all her younger cousins are 4 or
She'll
5,
be married by 8 if Pat Berry's in the room.
we're gonna get her. Well, I just want, we have some cousins with some boys, and I got some friends with some boys, and I just need her at the barbecue, just fucking them up, making them cry. You know what I mean? I need her fucking hip tossing bitches and fucking choking them out, and just absolutely just fucking these other little cousins she's got up. So it's gonna be, it's gonna be good. I got her in piano, I got her in jiu-jitsu. She's a regular Rose Namajunas.
But you're a white belt, 4 stripes. Why don't you just treat her yourself?
I'm a blue belt, baby, 3 stripes. I'm a purple belt. Come take it off me. I'm a purple belt in my mind. Come take it off me if you think not.
That's the same thing I say. I'm a purple belt. Take it off of me.
I'm like Craig Jones. He's like, I'm the second best jiu-jitsu guy in the world. Prove me wrong. I'm like, I'm a purple belt. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching. We had a good crowd tonight. We love you guys, and let us know what you think in the comments.
Shout out to Sweet Pea. Shout out to Dirty Reg. Shout out to Justin Villegas. Shout out to MMA Consultant, my brother. If you want to play some CS tonight, I'm in. We can do a post show together.
Shout out to
still here.
Floofin. Shout out all the boys.
Shout out to Verhoofty. That's all.
Love you guys. Give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share. We love you, and we'll be back next week. This is going to be a good card. I'm coming off back-to-back losing weekends. I'm about to eat this weekend. Follow the open bet sheet. Get into that Patreon if you want to see the open bet sheet. Get in for a month. You have the link for life, but don't subscribe for a month. Don't be a brokey like Dan. Get in there for the full year. It's $100 for the year. Support the show. Give us $100, and we love you guys. We'll see you. You get in that Patreon and you getting yourself in a situation like Dan, you can fucking hit me up. You can fucking ask me. You can say, Luke, what the fuck do I do? I will give you the right pathway, not financial advice. But we love you. Thank you.
I guarantee Russell Hantz next week.
Oh, yeah. We'll see Russell Hantz on the show very soon. Thank you, guys. We love you, and we'll catch you later. Enjoy the card.